And we are back for another episode of the Bloodsword series. For those of you that actually watched the last video, you might have realized that there were a lot of silent parts. It's because my microphone was not recording at all during the whole thing. So I was able to speak to other people, but you are only able to hear us. I'm really sorry about that. We will not redo it because I don't want to. But we will be able to go forward. Just for a summary, we died. We died like badly in the Palace of Eternal Dusk.
Something new. We died horribly. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Becoming like a staple.
It
And
is a recurring cycle.
that is correct. Right now, we've decided on a point to restart the adventure. We will not be restarted from the start. We will be restarting when we are on a ship that is going between Port Quag to Darhaven, and on the way there, we are being accosted by a mage in a flying carpet named Auguste Devanteri, which offers us a ride directly to the Kingdom of Word, which is our destination. We are automatically suspicious of the guy, but decide to take his offer anyway. And in the way, he actually does a detour to his own castle and reveals that he was a steward of Magus Uru, which is one of the 13 main Magus of Krarth, that was here on book 1. And based on a revenge plot, he will ask us for the scabbard. The Is that the scabbard of the or the hilt? Do we have the scabbard or the hilt right now of the blood sword?
Scabbard.
So
Covered.
he asks us, he demands that we give him the scabbard of the blood sword, which we have vowed to protect with our lives. We obviously refuse. So Auguste de Venturi is now threatening to descend us to his castle, where his servitors will just capture us
Experiment.
and torture us and have fun with us. So here's the thing. Last time, we refused this cordial invitation and threatened them until he managed to drop us off at Weird. Now we're gonna try to just go down the tower and fight those servitors and see how it goes. At least that's the plan. Alright, I will be bringing my character
It,
sheet.
it will not or may include that. We are unsure.
It might. Alright, I'll just update my health. I'll also update my spell. Oh, why didn't it work? Okay. So it is 7 out of 8. Alright. The reason for this is since we will be fighting a reasonable amount of people, the mage's servants, I will be preparing a spell I do not usually prepare. It is a spell called the Mists of Death. It's a 3rd level spell, which makes every enemy lose 2d6 endurance if they fail on a psychic abilities check.
Mm,
I,
reasonable.
I figure it would be useful in the upcoming fight. So everyone up to speed?
Yep.
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 Alright, so we are at the point where we realize the treachery of Auguste de Venturi, and we yell at him, "You treacherous dog! The likes of you will never have the blood sword." Augustus says, "Very well. We will land at my castle yonder, where my minions will perform interesting experiments upon you while I rejoice in my master's acquisition of the scabbard." And so the choice is, do we let him land at the castle, or do we fight him? Last time, we fought him. Kinda. But this time, let's agree to land at the castle. He's a mage. He might have interesting stuff. After we kill him.
Yeah. I don't intend on letting that guy live.
Alright, so here we are. The flying carpet descends gracefully through the icy air and touches down on the parapet of the White Tower. Augustus smiles broadly. Here we are at my abode, he declares, clapping his hands together. 4 squat demonic servitors tumble hastily out onto the parapet in answer to his summons. You glance over the edge of the parapet. It is still a long way to the ground from there. Your last chance, says Augustus. He is no longer smiling. Hand over the scabbard of your own free will, or I shall command my servitors to take it by force of arms. The demonic creatures grin toothily and pull daggers from their greasy jerkins. So, do we give Augustus the scabbard, or do we fight his servitors?
Fight.
We can give him in only one condition. If we chop it off his arse and we make sure that we retrieve it painfully from him.
I'm pretty sure that stands for fight.
Yeah.
Fight it out.
Okay, so let's fight the servitors and see how it goes. Go to page 766. Augustus takes a step back when he sees your look of defiance and fury. He is more used to dealing with people whom he can cow with his sorcery. He glances at the servitors, then frantically waves them forward to attack. By the way, in this fight, it is considered that Augustus is too far away to attack, even with weapons like arrows, bow and arrows, or spells. We can only target the demon servitors.
Okay.
Alright, so let's set up the fight. Let's move to battle map and set that up. Alright, so first of all, the battle grid. This one is a little more intricate than the previous one, so let's just work our way here. So we'll start with here, 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 here. Then we go 5 that direction. Then we go 4 in that direction. There we go. So that is the wall of the tower proper. Now, the parapet is about that big. And there we go. So that is the map. By the way, we're fighting on the parapet, so everything inside the tower is currently null. Although, by the way, we have nowhere to flee. Even though there's kind of a door right here, it's not a flee place. It's kind of a drop. Because even the inside of this tower is a free fall kind of thing. So let's just go and... no, not that. There we go. Let's just consider that whole section a non-section. There we go. Alright, so Trickster, being usually the second in the battle formation, is positioned here.
Can we go on the black spaces?
No, we can't. It's the inside of the tower, and it's kind of a fall. So instead, since none of us can fly, even the sage, which can kind of levitate, there's nothing here. And the rules saying that you could go inside. So the sage is positioned here.
So we can go inside if we'd wish.
We cannot.
Oh, we cannot. Okay.
So here's the battle formation, and then I will need to add the demon servitors. So first I will need to add their stats. Oops, and I dropped my. I dropped some things. All right. So demon servitors. All right. I'll get the S for servitor right here. For the icon, there we go. They each have a physical prowess of 8, which is kind of big. They only do, however, 1d6 plus 1 of damage, which is still good, but it's not like as big as some of the creatures we've faced so far.
Oh, they're still a menace because they can hit quite often, but at least it's not as
well,
dangerous
as you will be able
as
to
giants.
see, they cannot hit that often because they're all in a line. So basically, only one at a time can actually fight us. One of them can circle the parapet in order to fight us from the back, but it will take a while because
Yeah.
of our the ruling in which the movement is based on the awareness. And speaking of, their psychic ability is 6, and their awareness is 5, meaning they play after all of us. They have an armor rating of 1, and they each have 8 points of endurance.
Wow. Not too bad.
That sounds like a fair fight.
Actually, it sounds like it will be a slaughter in our advantage. I'm just saying that right away because here's the current positioning of said demon servitors. There's one here. There's one here. There's one here. And there is one here. So only one of them can fight us at a time. Not only
Damn.
that, we can hit them with 2 characters. And even more than that,
You go first.
we go first. So yeah, that's not going to be a fair fight at all.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna waste my arrows on these cretins.
I will attempt to cast my spell as quickly as I can, by the way, so just so you know.
I always forget that you don't have the dagger.
The dagger of
I
Viscence.
don't have it anymore.
It is unfortunate, but no, it has been lost.
Yeah, if I would still have have the dagger, I'd throw it at each turn, but not. So that's fine. I'll bide my time.
I'm really eager to go back to the Palace of Eternal Dusk soon. You remember, Fluff, how you can get the Axe of Ericlos? That wonderful piece of weaponry?
Yeah, but
Yes.
will we be able to go there still?
Oh yeah, no, we are bound for the Kingdom of Wood. Regardless of what happens, we have to go to the Kingdom of Wood, which means we will meet the Palace of the Eternal Dusk, and as long as we're taking the same door, which is the Door of Carnage, we should be fine getting to the barbarians and fighting them. Alright, so now I just need to put the turn order. Just scroll that. Yep, there we go. So we start with Mr. Trickster at 8 awareness. Then we'll have Mr. Warrior, Mr. Sage, and Mr. Enchanter, each at 6 of awareness. And then finally each additional... Oh, come on. It did not record? Record? I still have some pronunciation issues. Forgive me for that.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yes, do bless you. Alright, so second demon servitor, third demon servitor, and fourth demon servitor. Alright.
May the devil bless you.
Yeah, sorry. When I sneeze, sometime I might have like a little. I might like sneeze many times in a row. It happens.
Alright. So,
Yeah, you have the same issue.
I
so
got
the first part of the fight is us. So it's basically our party and then the demon servitors. So, let's see what we do.
Well, let's start with trying to attack.
Alright? We can all play at the same time because it doesn't really affect our behavior. By the way, Sage, do you want to try and go around? We could try and take them from the other side, but it will require me to move quite a few turns.
I'll just stay there and use no arrows because I won't waste them for these weaklings.
Alright, so since...
Yes, it hit.
By the way,
First
1d6 plus 1 minus 1, so they have 4. The first servitor gets 4 damage, and then he gets 5 additional damage because of... 6 actually, 6 additional damage because of the warrior, and which reduces him to a corpse, which is good.
Good.
Sage, do you plan to do anything? Because at this point you're kind of sandwiched between all of us. Because if you want me to get out of the way, it will take. I will have like to go all the way there for me to have enough leeway to give you.
Do you hear me?
No, I did not hear you.
Now you do?
Now I do.
Good. So, what did you say?
Well, is there anything that you want to do in this fight? Because I could get out of the way instead of casting spells. It will require me to go all the way down this corner.
Oh,
To
no,
some
but
space, but
these are our two best fighters. I'll let them handle the situation and keep my resources.
all right, good. All right, so I will attempt a small spell. So Mists of Death, since the third level spell, so I need 4 or less on 2 dice to succeed, and that's not a success. All right.
Whew.
Alright, the demon servitors will move. So this one moves here, this one moves here, and this one moves down there. Because they will try to get around.
Okay.
I think that is fair because right now there is no real spot where they can move further here. So the one in the back, the shortest path to an enemy would be to go all the way around.
Alright.
Alright, Trickster. Well, it is our turn, so we can all retry our stuff. Trickster,
I
think
missed.
that you miss, yeah. I will attempt my spell second time. This time I need a 5. Oh, the warrior hits.
I think that's
Yeah, dude, that's a hit. That's clearly a hit.
and dice.
6. Yeah.
Well, that's 3 of damage minus 1
Yeah.
armor, so 2 damage. Alright. On my end, I will attempt my spell, so I need 5 or less on 2
Good
dice.
luck.
That's not lucky. Alright. So the demon servitors will affect. So this one will move, this one will do nothing, and this one will attack. So let's see. So first of all, who does he attack? So odd, he attacks the warrior, and even, he attacks the trickster. That's even, which means he attacks the trickster, meaning he needs to get 7 or less on his roll. And that's a 7, that's clearly a hit. And he inflicts a total of 2 damage, which are completely nullified by your armor.
Weren't they having 8 fighting cross, so 8 or less?
Yes, but in order to hit the trickster, they need to... Well, it's
Ah.
not that the fighting cross is a minus, it's just that they need to hit
Yeah.
2 dice 6 plus 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so no damage whatsoever, so it's back to us. I will attempt one last time my spell. One other time, I mean. Okay, the
I
trickster.
missed again.
So now I need 6 or less. And that's an 8. Still not there yet.
One day.
But the warrior still hits. Reliable as ever. Inflicting a total of 6 damage minus 1 armor. Meaning 5. So this Vita is barely holding it together, but still in fighting shape. Alright, it is now their turn. Meaning that I will move this one here. This one will attack. So who does he attack? He attacks the warrior this time. And manages to hit for a total of 6 damage minus 3 armor. So a total of 3 damage.
Oh. That much.
Yep, that much. Now back to us. Now I need 7 or less.
I missed again.
Oh, I managed to hit my spell. Okay, that's gonna be... Alright, because now I need to figure out who got damage. Alright, by the way, while you're doing that, warrior, you can try to hit the... Actually, wait for my
No,
damage.
I will wait for your spell to resolve.
Alright, so the first demon servitor, the one that is badly wounded, succeeds on his psychic ability test, meaning he will not be injured. The second one, at the bottom of it, succeeds as well. Gosh dang it. And the third one, completely at the bottom, succeeds. So my spell was utterly useless.
Okay.
They must get less than their psychic?
Yeah, that's the way they succeed.
Okay.
And they all
Running
get
one
the
of
right
6,
result.
so 6 or less.
That's a fail. That's a fail. That's
Well-
an ultimate fail.
Alright, well, yeah, no, that is fail. Alright, so
I dropped my weapon.
So it's
Damn.
back to them. Those demon servitors. So this one still goes on. He will eventually reach us. I might just prepare a spell to target that one that's running on the back.
Oh,
Good idea.
yeah.
Alright, so the one that is in front of you will target the warrior. Will miss this time.
Yay.
Alright, let's try to kill this thing.
Alright. And yeah, you do manage to hit, which is great. Alright.
For a total of 1 damage.
Well, it's enough to kill him, so I won't complain. Here's the thing, warrior. You can either decide to move in order to be the sole target of that creature, or you can wait and basically have the creature come to us.
Yeah, he's gonna fall into your trap, so I would recommend to wait.
I will defend.
Alright.
Alright. On my end, I will prepare a small spell of white fire, which does not require a psychic ability test from my enemy, which makes it more reliable, and inflicts 2d6 plus 2 damage. So let's see how it goes next turn. Alright, so Demon Servitor's turn. So this one will move here, and this one will move here, and that's the end of the turn. So we're back to us.
Let's obliterate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hit, and that's 5 damage. So great. Half his health is removed
That's a hit.
instantaneously. That's a hit. That's 5 more
That's
damage,
5
which
more.
kills him. All right. But we are to a point where that servitor is actually closer to me than it is to you, which means it will
Yep.
continue going on my way. But that's my turn here, and I will attempt to cast my spell right here. So I need 6 or less on a die this time. That's a hit, and that inflicts 2d6 plus 2, inflicting 11 damage and killing that bastard instantly.
Good.
Alright,
Good
that's
job.
yeah, that is the end of that fight. We managed to easily overcome Auguste de Vantary's minions. Let's see what happens. Alright, I'll first put us back to the world map, and then we can continue. So, if we manage to kill the servitors, we turn to 26, which I do. Augustus has retreated on seeing the tide of battle turn against his demons. Now he stands on his carpet, with one slender hand on the amulet around his throat. You start towards him, but the carpet is already rising and soaring out away from the tower. He hovers at a safe distance and watches you, his face contorted with rage. "Rot there forever!" he screams. He shakes his fist and then commands the carpet to veer away and fly back to Krarth. You watch until he is a speck lost against a haze of white. So basically he leaves us on the tower. Entering the tower, you reach a circular gallery overlooking the stairwell. A stairwell, but no stairs linking the floors. Glancing down, you see 2 more galleries and then the ground floor hall. If there is an enchanter in the party, turn to 93. So, there is one, which is great. The various levels of Augustus' tower are just close enough together for you to use the spell of immediate deliverance to teleport between them. The absence of stairs poses no problem. You and your companion, if you're not alone, can explore the tower at your leisure. So, yay, Enchanter. So there's no stairs, but we don't care, because we got teleport. Alright, so from this point, do we explore the top gallery, the middle gallery, or the lower gallery?
The top one.
Seems good for the
Yeah.
other two?
We have plenty of time, I'd say, so the
Well,
top one.
The other guy left, so yeah. Let's explore 252. 252. You enter what must be Augustus's personal apartments. You find various items of clothing scattered over the richly carpeted floor, including numerous fine fur cloaks and some thick blankets. You know that these will come in useful in keeping you warm as you travel over the freezing pack ice to Weird. So if we did not purchase fur cloaks previously, we could take them here. Anyway, is there anybody that has some inventory space and does not have blankets? Because I know I don't, and I will take some.
I have my bedroll. I'm fine.
I do not have a bedroll, but I will take a blanket.
The bedroll should do the trick for the blanket still.
Probably.
Yeah,
I will still
I'll
take a
keep mine.
blanket regardless. Anybody else that takes either a cloak or a blanket?
Well, I can just ditch it later if I don't have any use for it. I
Alright,
take one of the blankets, even though I have a bedroll.
alright, so let's see how it helps. But after that, we come back to 470 because we have explored the top gallery. Top gallery is just Augustus's apartments. Alright. Now, do we explore the middle gallery or the lower gallery?
Middle.
Middle?
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's go for the middle.
140. Alright. The middle gallery has several doors leading off it. Some are locked, but you manage to find one that isn't. Entering, you find it to be a sorcerer's laboratory. If there is a sage or an enchanter in the party, turn to 12. Okay, we have both. So let's go to 12. So Augustus appears to be an artificer, a wizard who relies on constructed devices for much of his power. You understand little of the paraphernalia stacked on the shelves around you, but you spot one or two items that might be of interest. You reach out your hands and then hesitate. Might not Augustus have inscribed one or more of his devices with a runic trap to ensnare burglars? Which means we should probably pay attention to runes to see if it might be trapped or not. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Sounds fine.
Alright, let's go to 195 to see what we find. There are a number of strange objects littered across the room. Among them, you notice a brazier. So if the group did not already have a brazier, we would have one. A crust of stale bread, a fluid in a grey bottle, a silver plate inscribed with a pentagram, and a gilt-edged scroll. After deciding what, if anything, you would like to take, and noting it on your character sheet, we will turn to 455. So, let's take those items one at a time. Do we already have a brazier first?
No,
No, we don't?
I don't think we do.
Alright, let's see. Oh, actually, I do have one. So,
Okay.
Seems like we wasted money once again.
yeah, maybe. But, let's see. Alright. So, we can probably forget the brazier. Do we take the crust of stale bread? It is in the sorcerer's lab, so it could be either the sorcerer's lunch or something magical.
Well, I could take the sorcerer's bread, I think.
So you would take the stale bread?
Why not?
Alright.
I mean, it could always help me more so I could deal you back.
Alright, now there is a fluid in a grey bottle. I'm pretty sure it won't zap me right away if I take it, so I will take the grey bottle, the grey fluid bottle. Sounds good for
You're gonna take the fluid?
I'm gonna take the grey fluid bottle. If we're ever in trouble, we might try to see what it does.
Yeah, okay.
Alright. A silver plate inscribed with a pentagram. I don't know for you guys, I don't really trust that one.
Yeah.
Which one?
A silver plate with a pentagram on it.
The silver plate with the pentagram on it?
Yeah, I just don't trust it.
I'll take it.
You want to take it? Because we can
Yeah.
leave it there.
No, maybe it will be helpful, or if not, I'll ditch it.
Alright. One last chance, because as we both know, you and me are the sage and enchanter, there might be traps inside that sorcerer's lab.
Mm, yeah, perhaps it could be a room. Not
I'm just saying,
impossible.
if you decide, that will be my last argument here. If you decide to take the plate, you take the plate and everything's fine. If you don't take the plate, well, we just leave it there.
It's probably gonna do a spell or something though.
So, do you take it?
Hmm. I don't know.
It's the cursed plate.
Nah, no, I'll leave it there.
Okay. Anybody else interested in the plate, or do we just leave it there?
I'm fine with just leaving it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with 2.
There's also a gilt-edged scroll. So here's the thing: it's a scroll, so there's obviously something written on it. Is it trapped? I don't know.
It might be a spell.
Might be a spell. That's it. I did not discover any new spells since the beginning of the adventure. Maybe it's the chance I would have at one, but it could also be a trap. What do you guys think?
I think you should take it. You're good with scrolls.
Yeah. Gilt Edge.
Gilt, Gilt, like something that gilded, like gold plated, something like that.
Oh,
So the edges of the scroll are gilded. I don't know if that makes sense. Alright, and that's actually all that there is. So now that we have taken everything that we could, or that we decided to, we can turn to 455, seeing if we fell into any kind of trap whatsoever. Alright. 455. Of the objects you may or may not have taken. So the brazier might be useful later, but there's nothing you can do with it right now. The crust of bread can be eaten at any time during the adventure except during combat. Note down the entry you are at when you eat it, then turn to 327. So, Sage, if you ever want to taste the bread, we will have to go to paragraph 327. So could you write that down on the piece of stale bread? By the way, you can tell me at any time except during combat that you will just eat the bread. Or taste the bread.
327.
327.
Good, is noted.
The great fluid can be drunk at any time except when in combat. And this one would lead us to paragraph 262. The scroll can be read at any time, in which case it would go to 287, 278, sorry, 278. And this one, it's really at any time, as well as during combat, so that one's interesting. It might be a combat spell. After noting down any other items, if you took the silver plate with the pentagram symbol, turn now to 497. If not, turn to
Probably was
470.
a trap.
Yeah, it might have been a trap, but we will not. Actually, are you curious? Are you curious of seeing what it would have done? Let's just agree that we have not taken the item, but do you want to know what would have happened if we took it?
a
Sure.
demon came out of it.
I sure have a bit of curiosity, that's for sure.
What about
Yeah,
you,
I'm
Andrew?
kind of curious as well.
Okay, let's just see real quick. Let's take a peek. Player took the item. That was a mistake. Like many sorcerers, Augustus is paranoid about his magical secrets. Even here in his virtually impregnable fortress, he laid a trap for thieves. And you have just sprung that trap. The pentagram of the plate whirls before your eyes. It is sucking you towards with inexorable force. Roll 3 dice. You must score psychic ability or less to resist the pentagram's power. If you succeed in resisting, you drop the plate and rush out of the laboratory, shaken but safe. If you fail to resist, you shrink until you are no bigger than a fly, and you are then pulled down in a force field that springs up around the plate. If you have any comrades, they are powerless to aid you. They must leave you trapped here forever and go on with their quest.
So you become tiny as a fly, and you get sucked in the plate.
Yeah, you get sucked into the plate.
So our magician is totally useless at dispelling spell. Okay, noted.
Yeah, we don't have any dispel. Alright, now going back to the galleries, there's only one gallery left to explore, which is the lower gallery. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Sounds
Yep.
good.
524. You investigate the door leading from the lowest of the three galleries. At first you conclude there are guest chambers, then you notice that all the doors can be padlocked from the outside. You find nothing in them of interest. So we can go back to 470, and since we have explored all three galleries, we can now descend to the hall and leave the tower and go to 548.
All right.
Sounds good.
Alright, you go down to the ground floor of the tower and with a great effort pull open the massive iron doors. A huge demon stands motionless in front of the door, its back turned to you. You squeeze past his icy bulk and hurry away, but it ignores you completely apart from an angry swish of a scaly tail. Its function seems to be to keep people out rather than to keep them in. You make your way over to the sheer cliff overlooking the icy wastes of the Mistral Sea. You will have to climb down from the pinnacle. It is too far for an enchanter to teleport. A sage might be able to levitate, though. So, Sage, do you wish to try and levitate?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so let's see. Let's go to 273. So you look down the dizzying precipice and find your thoughts turning to your old master, Palamedes, what always serene and untroubled in any circumstances. Yet his calm voice seems to speak in your mind, asking you, how could you describe this moment? You know that it is not Palamedes' voice, but your own inner self that is questioning you. So, what will you reply? There is two choices. It feels like jumping off a cliff, or it feels like floating like a feather.
It feels like floating like a feather.
Alright, let's see. 347. You step off from the side of the cliff and plummet downwards, sickeningly landing with a bone-shattering impact on the packed ice below. You lose 2 dice endurance with armor giving no protection. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so
That was a good levitation.
that is 7 damage.
7?
7. 2 dice 6.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, come on. Sorry, I just realized I did not. I cancelled my change of my character sheet and I don't have both of the items that I saved. I'll just go back there just right quickly and note that up. I had a bottle of grey fluid and I had a gilt-edged sword. Yeah, scroll, not sword, scroll.
I'll attempt to heal myself as soon as I can.
You basically can now.
Good.
So how much do you sacrifice?
Well, it was 3.
So you just get back whatever you. Oh, okay, no, 3, including the -2. So that means you get 3 times the amount that you sacrificed.
So 9, so I'll get back to full.
And by the way, the warrior is slightly injured. Do you have
Oh.
enough to heal a bit? So yeah,
was it 8? Well, I have two
5.
more to spend, so go back at 17, alright?
Actually, no. Did you sacrifice 3 endurance points?
3. 3, yeah.
Which means
Oh,
you're
wait,
at
I was-
14 right now. If you give
Uh,
yourself all the 9 points, you're at 14.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Well then, sorry, I don't have any more portable water.
Okay.
Not bad. I'm not that injured yet.
Oh yeah, well, I'll notify you next paragraph to when you will be able to reattempt the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you got a nasty fall. Alright, so bottle of gray liquid for paragraph 262. And then the gilt edged scroll.
Oh, just give me a. Can you give me a moment, Adam?
Yeah, no problem.
I'll be back.
Alright. And this one is paragraph 278. Alright, now I save my changes. By the way, just in for further preparation, I will just change the spell I have in mind at the moment. It will be. I will remove the mists of death. Sorry. Oh no, actually, I did not have any sword, any spell left in my mind. So I will just prepare a sword thrust, just in case, for a one target 3 dice 6 damage spell, just in case.
I'll be back in a moment as well.
Alright, well, I'll just pause the recording until everyone is back. And we are back! All with some more food or more preparation. Alright, when we did leave, so if other members of your party has yet to go down, turn to 498. So let's go at 498. Alright, 498. Alright. To climb down safely, each player must roll awareness or less on 2 dice. Failure means that the player's concentration lapses for a moment and he or she slips. The fall will do 2 dice 6 damage, no armor protection. So, good luck to everyone.
Didn't I already fell?
Yeah, you already fell, so it's only the 3 other members that will attempt that.
Okay.
Sorry, what are we rolling? I didn't hear the dice roll.
Or less on 2 dice.
Okay.
So you have a better chance than us. Well, the trickster wins splendidly. So
what's
no
my
awareness?
Awareness is 6 with 2 dice.
Yeah, 6 or less. And I just got 7, which means I slip and fall.
Trickster wins agility.
A total of 10 damage on my poor little nugget.
And I failed too, because awareness is 6.
Alright, 2 damage for you, no armor protection.
For me?
Yep, 2 damage for you.
Okay. I thought I had to roll the dice or something.
Oh, I was just saving time. You could have rolled the dice as well.
Oh, yeah, but I'll take 2 damage. I won't spit on it.
Alright, so I'm fairly, injured, just to let you know. And it's, we are near the end of the paragraph. Yep, we are at the end of the paragraph.
I failed my healing, sadly.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Alright, let's continue then. Once everyone is down.
To adventure
44.
into the cold.
Alright, 344. 344. You stare to the north. A feverish gray-white glare shines off the pack ice, dazzling you. Somewhere in that direction lies the kingdom of Weird. But where exactly? And can you survive a trek of several days across the frozen sea, with a bitter gnawing wind shrieking down from the Arctic? If you have a silver crucifix, turn to 66. Well,
I do have such a thing.
The silver crucifix of Saint Ashenax that we gained after helping Varadaxor defeat the Lady in Grey. Alright, so yes, that's the end of the paragraph, however. So Sage, could you attempt to heal us a little bit? Would be nice. Oh, that's a good roll. So you get back 9 points. I would suggest you fill yourself up so you can heal us further along the way, but after that, any further health would be appreciated. So you can get 7 points for yourself and distribute 2 points for everyone else.
Yeah, so I'll give 2 to you, Adam.
Thank you. That is most welcome. Here. Alright. So since we have the silver crucifix, I will now turn to 66. There we go, 66. Alright. The crucifix jumps on its chain and points in the air, pulled by an unseen force. You say a prayer, relieved at this divine guidance, and begin your march in the direction indicated by the crucifix. Your vigor recovers with your spirits. Any wounded players recover 1 endurance point. Oh, that's nice. So I recover 1. That is nice. Nice. Alright, that's the end of the paragraph here. So, Sage, do you want to attempt your magic once more?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good sacrifice, and you get back 12 points. So you can give yourself 3, give the warrior 4. That means there's 7, 12. So there would be 5 left for me.
Yeah, so take back 4 warrior and Adam take 5 more to get to 13.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm still slightly injured, but it's far less urgent than in Spada.
Yeah.
That's nice. I'm at full health.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that is nice. So let's go to 422. Now that we have a direction that is set for us by the crucifix. Okay. If you expected that the frozen surface of the Mistral Sea would be flat and smooth, you soon learn your error. It is an undulating expanse of pitted ice, as hard and as grey as iron. A shroud of sparkling snow lies over the petrified seascape, and sometimes the ice juts up in baroque tors and bergs carved by the winds. A persistent, keening gale rushes down out of the north, cutting through your clothing and chilling you to the marrow. Days and night pass as you trudge ever nearer to your goal. You feel suspended like dust in a relentless white glare by day, stranded in an illimitable void by night. In all, you spend 3 days on the ice, and the cold takes its toll. Each player loses 5 endurance points for each day with the following modifiers. So don't remove your 5 points yet. You lose 1 less point each day if you wear a fur cloak, which I think is all of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 4 points each day instead. 1 less point lost each day if you have rations to eat for the 3 days.
Yep.
So so basically, since it's 3 days, remove 3 days from your rations. By the way,
Do I have rations?
do you?
I
If not,
thought
we
I
can
bought,
share.
I thought I bought rations, but I
I
guess
think
not.
that we determined that only 3 people needed to buy rations to have for everyone.
Hmm.
I did not buy rations.
Huh.
I thought I did, but if it's not on
I
my,
have
not.
4 right now, so
Yeah, I still have 4 days left as well, so I will give 3 to the sage, and you give 3 to the warrior, and we'll go like that.
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Alright, so that
And they're
reduces
gonna be
the.
expended afterwards, yeah?
So that reduce. Sorry?
They're gonna be expended afterwards, yeah? After we walk, I mean, so I don't really
Yeah,
need to know
it's
them,
3
right?
days worth of rations which are expended for each of us. Alright,
Wait,
Cool.
so who has the rations?
so I have 1 day left of rations, and the warrior has 1 day left of ration as well.
Yep.
Okay.
After we have all eaten.
So we don't really need to note them on our sheets because we do eat them.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Yeah.
that. There's 1 less point each day if you have a bedroll. I do not have a bedroll.
I have
I
one.
I have
But
one.
you had blankets. Would it do?
Uh, it's not stating specifically blanket, it's just stating bedroll. Do we consider a blanket like a bedroll?
Hmm.
I mean, it kind
I,
of makes sense if the blanket is big enough that we can roll it up like a bedroll, but
I would argue that a blanket usually is not as warm as a bedroll.
So
Depends on the type of blanket.
So what says you? So let's vote here. Andre, what do you think? Will the blanket count as a bedroll or not?
I don't think it's an efficient as a bedroll.
All right. Since both you and the sage have voted against, I will just consider it is not a bedroll. So I don't have a bedroll, but each of you that have a bedroll, which I think is everyone except me, will remove also another point lost.
So that means we'd be down to 2 right now.
That is correct. Me, I'm still at 3 points each day. And one less point lost EJ if the party owns a brazier. And I do own a brazier, which means that the party owns one. So everything is fine. So at this point, you only lose 1 point each day, which is a total of 3 endurance. And I lose 2 points each day, which is a total of 6.
All right.
That is
So
still,
we lose 1?
you lose 1 each day, which means 3.
Damn. Well, it's not that bad, but yeah.
Same thing for the sage. Update your life.
Well, that would have been bad if we would have no nothing, because minus 15 would have killed 2 people. So
Yep.
Mhm.
Also,
Please.
a player who does not own a pair of gloves will suffer frostbite and must subtract 1 from fighting prowess for the rest of the adventure. Who does not own a pair of gloves?
I have gloves.
I do not have gloves.
Okay, here's the thing. You're a better fighter than I do, so I will give you my glove and suffer the fighting prowess penalty. Seems good?
Sounds good to me.
So what do you have to trade? Because you kind of full in your inventory, and I'm kind of full in my inventory.
I can give you the red orb of carnage.
Alright, so red orb of carnage, and what's the number attached to it? So
I just erased it. I think. Give me 1 second.
Can you do Control Z and get it back?
Yeah.
49.
Okay, red orb of carnage associated with number 49. Thank you.
I had to save somewhere else.
Okay. And you get the gloves, and I get the penalty to my fighting prowess, so I'm now down to 5. It's fine. I will never use a sword anyway.
If I see you use a sword, we have to have a party.
We already have a party of 4 adventurers.
If I ever see you use a sword, I will hire a bard or any artist that will draw a painting of you using that said sword. And
You
we'll
really
sell
want
it
to
for
paint
millions.
ridicule that much?
Yeah, it will work. It will be worth that much. It's a rare
Used by
fight.
the enchanter once.
Alright. Any players who survive the 3-day ordeal at last catch sight of land, it is the coast of Weird. Turn to 404. Before I do so, it's the end of a paragraph, so Sage, you can work your miracles. Alright, let's wasted.
The bear.
Alright, next paragraph. The pack ice underfoot seems to become thinner as you approach the shoreline. There are none of the high and principally shaped ice doors, and in places you notice cracks through the ice to the chill grey sea beneath. You're a little over a kilometer from the coast when you spot a fur-clad figure lying on the ice. He's not moving. He had hoped to reach solid ground before nightfall, but if you detour to see the stranger is alive, then that may not be possible. So do we come to the stranger's assistance, or do we not waste time on someone who's probably dead anyway?
No, let's go for the to assist the stranger.
Yeah, let's try and assist the stranger.
Well,
I
last time...
agree with assisting the stranger.
Okay, that's unanimous then. But since we are changing paragraph, Sage, you can again try to heal us.
No.
That's a nope. That becomes dangerous.
Yeah, next time I'll like expend 2 hit points instead of 3. Don't worry.
Alright, so you reach the stranger and roll him over. Not him, her. It is a young girl with raven black hair, wearing a peasant's homespun under a thick cloak. She is very weak, and her flesh is as white as alabaster, but she is still breathing. So if the sage attempts to heal her, roll for this in the usual way, and once she has regained at least 1 endurance point, we can turn to 48, which means you have more than 1 attempt. Which means it is time for us to heal.
But can I redistribute the excess on us as well?
Yep, you totally can.
Yeah.
Actually, I would recommend that we just heal up here. Alright, so that's a 2, and
Nope.
that's a 2 lost. You can try again if you want.
Please. At least.
You gain twice the amount which is expended, which means
So
4
it's
more.
4.
Give it to you, give it to yourself.
Oh yeah, I give 1 to her as well. Oh,
Well,
wait.
as soon as
If
you
I
give
if
one,
I give them to me, can I try again?
yep.
Okay, then I'll do that because I'll
Because as
maximize
soon
my
as we
chances.
heal the girl, we go to the next paragraph. So I think we should benefit from that and trying to heal
Yes.
ourselves as much as we can.
Yes.
Oh, that's a 4, which is a dangerous gamble. Well, you get them back at least.
Yeah, there you go.
You want to try again? You get that back
Slowly,
too.
slowly. Dun 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 dun.
That's lost. What about this? Try with 4 hit points this time, and if you don't manage, I will just use some of the salve I've kept. You know the 6.
Yeah. All right,
Where's that salve? I used to have a salve.
you did. Was it on the warrior?
I don't have it.
But we did have a solve that I do remember.
In the first one I had it. Since the reset, I think the enchanter used to have it, but he used it all in the last run we had. So
Okay.
I assume he got all of the
just
saves back.
I'll just replace my sword for the healing salve with 5 charges.
Yeah.
All right. I got a 5, so it means times 3, times 4.
Times 3. So we're talking about 12 points. Give them to yourself. It's all right.
Wonk. Won't be on.
We hope so. Okay, that's a 3. You get that back.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, I haven't spent them. I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's okay. I'll assume that you decided to spend as much as the previous turn, which is 3
Yeah,
points.
it would have been 3.
So at this point, you gain back 6, so you can be full health and start healing us.
1 for the enchanter.
Yay! Thank you.
There you go. So it's 12.
Yes, it is. It is 12. So you can give yourself back 3, which means 9 are remaining.
Yeah, so give yourself back to full, Adam.
Okay, that's 7 points more, so there's 2 points left.
Then 2 to the warrior.
Thank you.
How about this? Spend some more. Okay, so that's a 2, so... How much? Oh, that's...
There you go.
You get back 8, so you get 2 for yourself.
Yeah, 2 for myself, 1 to the warrior.
3 for the trickster, and that leaves 2 that we can spend for the freezing to death little girl.
Yeah, so it's 2 other for the women.
Alright, yep. Then we can actually...
so 2 for the women. There you go.
Alright, that was a nice reset.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, we can turn to 48. She is barely strong enough to speak, but her mind is lucid. I am from Wed, she says in a small voice. I tried to escape, along with my 2 brothers, for our family had suffered too long under the Warlock King's tyranny. But the Eslaken rose up to slay my brothers, and he slays all who try to flee. Her voice begins to trail off. You realize she's going into shock, a coma from which she will never awaken. She lost too much body heat before you found her, and no ministrations of yours can save her now. There is one last question we can ask her. We can ask her, what is the Eslaken? What is the source of the Warlock King's power? How can the Warlock King be defeated? Or we can let her die in peace.
What was the game that we did?
What game? Are you talking about the checkers?
Yeah, wait.
I'm kind of curious about what is the Eslaken, which seems to be a beast that kills everyone who tries to flee from Weird.
Yeah, I'm curious too, but in all honesty, if I follow my chivalry code, I will let her die in peace.
Okay, so which is your choice here?
I don't know. I'm torn.
Well, let's see.
As
opinion
is
of the
usual.
other 2 members. Andre, do you think we should ask her a question or let her die in peace?
I think we should find out about the beasts.
The Eslaken? Okay. What about you, Sage? He doesn't seem to be here.
Yeah, I think he's gone for a bit.
Alright, so we'll need to decide with 3 people. Alright, so I'm curious about the Eslaken. Andre is curious about the Eslaken, so a majority vote, I guess.
Yeah.
Sounds good?
Yeah.
135. A great monster that lurks in the sea below the ice. Its body is vast, with a single eye set in the midst of 8 long tentacles. Oh, what hideous eye! A voice trails off. Turn to 59.
I was hoping the tinderbox we had would have, I don't know, helped her.
Yeah, the
Or that
tinderbox,
we have the...
we don't have it
I don't
yet.
know. Oh, yeah, we don't have it.
The tinderbox.
I don't know. We have a blink, yes. We have
Actually,
a lot of stuff that keep...
the Ember tinderbox. Where did we get that? Actually, how did we get an Ember tinderbox?
It was when we were at the village of Weird.
You sure
There
about
was
that? It's not the werewolf attack?
a tarot seer of some kind who gave us...
Wasn't that at the beginning? The tarot cards?
No.
I'm just
But
gonna
we
check.
asked her a question about the castle, and there was one about the ice wolves, and
Okay, and she's the one that gives us the Ember tinderbox? Okay.
I think she does, or maybe it was the woman who saved us from the wolves. I don't know.
I'm just gonna have to check. I'm just gonna.
I am
check
confused.
I'm just gonna check the werewolf kind of thing, the werewolf battle to see what we gain usually. So I'm just gonna check here. 24. Looking back. 19. Some werewolves. Alright, if you win turn 73. $45 gold piece. Book departure. No, okay, that's clearly not at the beginning. So we'll have to wait for the Ember tinderbox. Alright, is Pierre-Yves back? I guess not.
Did you pause the recording?
Not yet. Not yet. Well, how about we do this? We'll just wait for him to come back. And we'll come back to you, the video. Alright, so let's see. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, to the adventure. Alright, so last thing we did was to inquire about the beast, the Eslaken, which is apparently a creature with innumerable tentacles and one central eye, which is horrifying to look at. And it's pretty much that. And after that, her eyes close as death come for her at last. It is the very moment of sunset. You are sorry for her, but you have done all you can now, and now you must get to the coast while you still have the twilight to see by. If you wish to take the fur cloak and or the gloves from the body, you can do so. Well, technically, the gloves add their usefulness. I'm not exactly sure. I'm already suffering frostbite, so do I really need to take gloves?
Well, we don't know if we will have to again face the snow and all that.
Well, just in case, I'll just remove the money pouch I have, and I'll let you take care of the money issue. I'll just take some gloves. Alright. That will be just in case. Alright. So let's turn to 365. 365. You hurry towards the bleak grey cliffs that rim the shoreline of Weird. You feel a tremor run through the ice under your feet. Staring down, you see through the thick, distorted sheet of murky ice a single glaring red eye. Your hackles rise under its vile scrutiny. Suddenly, the ice cracks at 8 points in a circle around you, sending a flurry of splinters as 8 huge tentacles rise into view. Water pours from the gigantic sucker pads as the tentacle trash at the air and then stretch to converge on where you are standing. There's the option to use an item, running for the shore, or standing and fighting.
Let's try and use an item if we can.
Alright, let's see what items we need to check. So 549. The thick tentacles snake in towards you, but you keep your thought calm as you consider the item that might be of use. We could either activate an orb of fire. If we had a scroll of invisibility, that would be nice. We could decide to try and playing the harp. Maybe the creature can hear us. We could try looking through the 2 blue eyes jewels. Or we could decide to either fight the monster or make a dash for the shore. Do you think any of these items would be useful? So
my internet.
What
connection just
item?
died there.
Sorry, it kind of cut.
oh, sorry. Do you want?
I actually just lost my internet connection, so I missed the entire paragraph there.
Okay, so the big creature, the Eslaken, actually rose up. These 8 tentacles broke the ice and are twirling towards us. We have decided to try and use an item. There are 2 items that we could try to use. So we could try playing the harp, if that helps somehow. Or we could try trying to look through the blue eyes jewels that we'd taken from the skeleton at the beginning. Or we could decide to fight the creature or just dash from the shore.
Who kept the blue the blue jewel?
I thought it was you.
Perhaps I will rewrite it then on my sheet because there was some things that were
You
changed
have
while
it.
we.
It's your 6th item, pair of crystallized blue.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay. So Trickster, what do you think? Do you feel like we trust Jewel, which is surely potent, or do you go with the harp?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think the harp will help very much because the creature is under the sea. and their tentacles cannot hear you. That's just my point in all of
The
this.
harp might be magic, though. We do not know.
It might be magic, but if it's magic, the magic might come through its music. And if there's nobody that can listen to the music, well, that's the thing. That won't help a lot.
I mean, I could be a bard.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
So let's do something, Trickster. All right. If it's even, I'll let you play the harp. If it's odds, it's gonna be the jewel. Is that fine?
Yeah, that works for me.
So that way, each gets a chance, and it's a fair one. Roll it up. You get to play the harp. Have fun.
so
All
do
right,
you want
let's
to play
play
the
some
harp?
harp.
Okay, you want to play the harp? Let's see what happens. Let's see if the creature can hear you. Alright, so let's see. The harp. Turn 2, 3, 40.
well, I mean, it could turn into a funny death scene. I don't know.
You stroke the strings of your harp. The massive tentacles stop for a moment. In a frozen, eerie instant, you wait within a circle of twining grey tentacles, listening to the whispering wind and the perfect notes of the harp. Then the tentacle whip in to strike you with incredible force. Each player loses 2 dice of endurance. Armor gives normal protection. Your senses swim as you struggle to your feet and make ready to fight this monstrosity. You dimly notice that its sudden attack has left the beautiful harp splintered and broken beyond repair.
Yeah.
That
No,
was
my harp.
So not only do we have to fight a creature now, but also we've all wounded. Ain't that fun? All right.
And you lost your harp as well.
Each of you roll 2d6 damage, and remove your armor with that. So on my end, I will suffer 8 damage minus my armor, so 6 damage.
roll 2 dice. Of stupidity. Oh damn,
That's a big pile of damage. So 9 damage for you.
It's a flesh wound. It's
Alright.
only a flesh wound.
Here's the thing: we are not in a combat paragraph, meaning the sage can attempt to heal us 1 time before the fight starts.
There is no
Yeah, you count your
there's
armor.
no armor,
So
huh?
your armor counts. So which means
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was having an armor of 2, right?
Yep, which means you suffer 7 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay. So
Wait, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to heal.
all right, and if that doesn't work, I'm gonna try and use some of the healing salve.
All right. Well, I get back what I spent.
At least you have that.
Yeah.
All right, let's use some salve for the most wounded of us. So there's 8 tentacles. I also need to see what spell I prepare for this fight because 8 tentacles seems like a lot. All right, so I have 5 charges. I will keep 1 for the baby layer, if you don't mind. So I will use 4 charges for us. So first, one little salve for me, and I get back 1 hit point. Okay, that's bad. All right. Also, now 1 charge for the sage, which will get 2 hit points back. 1 salve for the warrior, which will get 4 points back. Please note that down.
Noted.
Alright, and considering what we have right here, I will use 1 more salve for the sage. We might need it later. And that's an additional 2 points for the sage. Now I only have 1 charge left.
Fine by me.
Alright, that was bad. Alright, so you don't mind, I'll just check what kind of spell I could find to try and help us. I'm wondering if I could prepare the spell called Night Howl, which makes a creature, if I manage to cast a spell and the creature fails their psychic ability test, it would make the creature roll 1 extra die for all their attacks for 5 rounds. So if I affect the eye, I wonder if they will make like everyone miss. Or should I just try to do as much damage to everyone as I can?
I think damage is better at this point because we have to fight 8.
Alright, well, in that case, I will prepare a high-level spell. It's called the Sheet of Lightning. It's a 4th level spell that does 2d6 plus 2 damage to everyone.
Alright.
You had that?
Well, it's a 4th level spell, so it's nearly not worth it, but right now there's like 8 enemies, so it's worth a shot. Because it's not a lot of damage, 2d6 plus 2, it's not a lot of damage, but it could be enough for the tentacles. I actually don't know, I never fought that creature before.
Yeah, that would be our first try.
If we die, I recommend perhaps we try it again with the jewel. Is that agreeable?
Yeah, we could just start
But
back right at the beginning of the start.
Oh no, we didn't have the fire crest because we didn't.
Now we have the red orb of carnage, not the white orb of fire.
You could still use it, Adam, if you feel confident with the orb.
Yeah, well, do you think that I should use... Does the group think that it's the right moment to use the red orb of carnage? By the way, here's the creature's stats. Because I have the battle map with here, there is 8 tentacles. Each tentacle has a fighting prowess of 7. They inflict 2d6 damage per blow, and they have an awareness of 7, meaning they act before all of us except the trickster. They each have 2 of armor and 11 points of endurance. You are fighting the Eslaken's tentacles as though they were 8 individual monsters. In order to fight a tentacle, you must move to one of the holes where they were emerged through the ice, but since the tentacle can stretch far overhead, they can fight any player, no matter where he is or she is standing, and the creature is immune to psychic spells. And in order to win that fight, we need to destroy at least 6 of the 8 tentacles.
I think this is a good time to use that Orb of Carnage.
Alright, let's try it out. Before I load the map, I will try the red orb of carnage, which means I must go to paragraph 49. Make sure you have a note of the last entry you were reading. The host of Gord's pattered claymores swirl out of the red orb. As they appear, they are no bigger than needles, but they have enlarged to full size within seconds. For a heartbeat, they hang in the air like bristling weapons of berserkers searching for a foe. Then they sweep forwards. If you are in combat or about to enter combat, the claymores scythe down and inflict a total of 1d6 times 1d6 on your opponents before vanishing. So I must roll 2d6 and then multiply them.
By what?
So
6.
I roll 1d6 and then I multiply it by another 1d6. So if I roll 2 1s, that makes 1 damage. If I roll 2 6s, that makes 36 damage. And it's inflicted to every... okay, so and damage inflicted by the claymore is distributed evenly amongst possible targets, rounding fractions up. And then each person struck gets to subtract his or her armor rating from the wound he or she has to take. For example, the damage roll were 3 times 5, then a total of 15 endurance points would be inflicted. Suppose they were taken by both a sage and a warrior. Former would lose 6 endurance and the latter 5. The orb vanishes. 1 minute.
French.
Yeah, it's on our opponents. They target our opponents and not us.
It would have been weird.
Yeah. If it would have targeted us, I would say it's not worth it. Right now, it's highly luck dependent. So let's hope I roll 2 very nice die. Because it has to be separated evenly between each tentacle, meaning we will not destroy any tentacles even if I roll the maximum dice.
It's sure that it would help us, though.
Alright, first result. That's a 1. Shit.
Rip.
Second, that's a 3. So we inflict a total of 3 damage on 8 tentacles, which means that we inflict 1 damage on the first 3 tentacles. I suggest, if we die, which is very likely, that we just switch to another orb. Next time.
But basically,
Oh, I think we should keep the same orb. Just go
You
back
sure
to
about
the
that?
point with
Doesn't
the
seem-
tentacles.
Yeah.
I don't mean restarting all the way to the orb, just choosing a different one and then going back to the fight with the Kreka, with the Eslaken.
No, I still think that the blood orb is good. Because they can
Yeah.
be really good at a later point.
Okay, alright, fair enough.
And as I said, if we die, we could perhaps just try the jewel.
Alright, well, for the moment, let's attempt to succeed.
As best we can. It's not gonna be easy.
No, it is not. Alright, so let's position everyone on the map. So there's the warrior, there's the trickster, there's the
easy
sage,
fights are hard to come by.
and there's the enchanter. Alright, so there are several tentacles that we need to destroy. So just a moment, I will just do a little bit of cleaning up, and then I will set up the stats of each of these tentacles. That will be a hard fight if we manage to survive.
I am not really thrilled by our statistical chance of success, but I'll try my best.
Alright, so a tentacle.
So I suggest everyone that you take a moment to pray and make sure that you might survive.
So they have a fighting prowess of 7,
I will make sushi out of it.
2 dice
Good.
6 damage. No psychic
That is my
ability,
prayer.
because they are immune to psychic.
So,
things. They have
Trickster,
awareness of
what
7.
is your prayer before we might get killed?
Andre, do you have a prayer, or did you just disconnect?
No, I think I don't need a prayer for this.
You will die. Okay. It's not because you don't have a prayer. It's because it's simple statistics. I think we are just screwed because there is no flee option.
Oh,
for
that's
this
neat.
one. This fight. So, yeah, it's gonna be tough. By the way, so like I said, the orb did nothing. By the way, just to be clear on that thing, because they inflicted 1 damage on 3 tentacles and they have armor of 2, which means they resisted everything. Alright.
This orb isn't that good.
Yeah, that's-
It's not that good because Adam rolled
depends.
terribly, but it could be like
If
6x6 at some point.
I don't know if
It
it's
depends.
that luck dependent. I'm not exactly sure I see the worth
If-
of it. Some other orbs might be better, and
Not really. If you use it on a single creature and you get the max one, that's sufficient as
that
well.
is if you get the max one. Like I said, it's really luck dependent. Really luck dependent. I got 3 damage, and that may very well happen in another fight. Because I need to roll 2 dice and expect not to get low
That's
numbers
true.
on either of them.
Let's stick with our guns. We chose that orb, so
Okay.
that's our choice.
Alright, so here are the tentacles, which means none of them are in our melee range, but all of them can attack us, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's see. This one.
We are at a disadvantage, I believe. But it depends. Our warrior is so efficient. He's like 30 men, so we'll win, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have no.
No pressure, warrior.
No issue with that whatsoever.
Oh, I feel no pressure. I am at peace with myself.
Hey, do you
Cool.
think it would be useful if I tried to use the scroll I got from the Mage's Tower?
Try it. Why not?
It's like if you follow those paragraphs, you get to see what the item does before you try it or something. I'm not sure.
No, it's because you have to choose to use it before you go to the paragraph.
Yeah.
Mm.
So if it's good and we still die, at least we'll know that we'll need to keep it. So you call my mage.
Yep. Well, I will attempt it anyway. If I don't die to the tentacles just before I attempt anything, because as you might remember, all of them have awareness of 7, which means they all act before most of us.
And best of luck, then.
This is like a fight that you have to have an item in order to save yourselves.
I think that if the eyes do nothing, the best option would be to try and flee from the creature.
Flee! Flee, you fools!
Because that was an option before we tried to use an item.
Yeah, it was.
Alright, so let's go with the turn order for a moment. So we have the tentacles, which I will add. Yeah, let's just give 1 token for all the tentacles. I won't do 8 of them. I feel too lazy for that. And we can now start the grueling fight for our lives. Alright, what do you do, Trickster?
I'm going to move straight down between the 2 tentacles.
Because that's cool. Good. Alright, so now it's the tentacles. So I will roll a die for each time in order to see what the tentacle is going to do, who the tentacle is going to target. So, first attack will target the warrior and will miss. Second attack will target the enchanter and will miss. Third attack will target the enchanter again. Will hit this time and will inflict a total of 9 damage minus armor.
You're still alive.
I am still alive. Barely, but still alive. Alright, but that was only what? 3 attacks? Yeah, 3 attacks. Alright, fourth attack. Will target the warrior. And will hit for a total of 4 damage minus armor. So, you're lucky this time.
So four
fifth
four
attack.
others remaining.
Yep.
It tickles.
Fifth attack to the enchanter. It misses. Sixth attack will go to the sage. Will miss. Seventh attack will go for the enchanter. How many of these are targeting me? And this one hits, of course it hits. For a total of 8 damage, so I'm dead. I'm dead. Totally dead. Alright, and then I think there's only 1 attack left, so it will target the sage for a total of 2 damage, which means
Nothing.
you don't feel anything. Alright,
Okay.
now it's your turns. Warrior and Sage, it is you. Well, actually, it's the whole group because the Trickster comes after.
All right.
So, Sage, what do you do?
I'm gonna throw an arrow to assist my companion, the trickster.
I believe what you mean is that you're gonna shoot an arrow, because throwing an arrow might be very ineffective.
Yeah, sure, shoot. Sorry. Yeah. I'm gonna shoot with that one in front of me, and
You're talking the one down to you?
yeah, the one down, yeah,
Alright,
beside the trickster.
alright. And you
It hits.
You do hit. For a total of 4 damage, minus 2, because they have an armor rating.
So 2 damage.
Yay! We are so closer to resolution.
I
what about you,
assisted
warrior?
and cooperated. I feel good.
What about you,
Alright,
warrior?
so let's try to do some damage to that other tentacle.
Yeah.
Well, actually, warriors did not roll yet. He's
The warrior
technically
moved.
I
yeah,
had
right.
to move.
Yeah, that's correct.
I do not have a tentacle sword to strike the enemy.
Alright, so
Not yet.
you managed 7 damage. Did you target the wounded one?
Yeah, I targeted the wounded one.
That is fantastic. Alright, now it's their turn. I will now roll a.
Shitload of tentacles.
All right. So let's. Do we have a die 3? No, I don't have a die 3. Okay.
You could always go with
I'll roll a
the
6-sided
die
die.
6.
Yeah, die 6.
And
So
so like
1 and
1,
2
2
for
warrior, 2, 3, 4 me, and 5, 6 trickster, for example.
3, 4 will be trickster, and it will be in battle order. So basically, 1, 2 warrior, 3, 4 trickster, 5, 6 sage.
I'm
Alright,
okay with
first
that.
one will go for the
For one.
warrior. It hits for a total of 11 points of damage. Minus armor.
11 minus 3, that's
8.
8.
Yes.
Which means I barely survive.
Alright, so that
for
was the
you.
first attack. Second attack.
Ah, I've seen worse.
So second
Just
attack
a flesh wound.
is gonna go to the sage. It hits for a total of 5 damage.
Minus 3, so 3 damage.
Third attack is gonna go to the warrior. It's gonna miss. Fourth attack is gonna go for the trickster. It's gonna miss. Fifth attack is gonna go for the warrior. It's gonna miss. Sixth attack is gonna go for the sage. It's gonna miss. Seventh
Good.
attack is gonna go for the warrior. It's gonna miss. And finally, eighth attack is gonna go for the sage. It's gonna miss. Wow, there's a lot of misses. I'm so unlucky. I'm talking about me as an enchanter that died on the first round. Alright,
Well,
so...
usually it's the trickster, so the trickster is lucky tonight.
Oh yeah, actually, he got very nice rolls all throughout the night, which was good. Alright, so...
Have a tea, tentacle. I will transform you into sushi. Or maybe not. No idea.
You will try.
I
Alright,
miss.
yeah, you do. Alright, Sage, Trickster. Sage, Trickster.
Yeah.
No sushi for me tonight.
What is your plan, Sage?
Throwing an arrow
Throwing
To
another
the
one?
knee.
to the wounded one.
The wounded one.
So you threw on one barehanded.
No, I'll shoot the arrow. Sorry.
Alright, so okay, yeah, you hit a second time. How many damage this time? That's a 6. It is
I
great because you
achieved.
healed your first tentacle.
Yes.
Alright, so let's attack the other tentacle to the opposite side.
Alright. That is a...
And miss.
Ah, okay. So you don't have any magical weaponry or something like that.
No.
That is sad. It's very sad. Alright, okay, so it's the tentacle time. Alright, now that's just 7 tentacles. Alright, don't you feel lucky? Alright, so first one will target the trickster and will miss because of the trickster's advantage.
Huzzah!
The second one will target the trickster and will still miss. The third one will attack the trickster and still miss.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's 3 missed rolls on the trickster. Is that 3? Yeah, I feel like it's 3.
That's 3 missed rolls.
Okay, fourth one.
Damn.
Fourth one will target the sage, will hit, and will inflict 8 damage minus armor.
Ouch.
They can't all be terrible. Pierre-Yves, could you update your endurance points?
How much damage?
8 damage minus armor, so 6.
Oh. Well, that's gonna leave a mark.
That is correct. Okay. So now we're the 5th tentacle. 5th tentacle is gonna target the warrior. It's gonna hit, and it's gonna inflict 6 additional damage minus armor.
So 3 damage.
Yep. Are you still
Is
alive?
our warrior still? Ooh.
Oh, this is so
11.
close.
Alright,
I am alive.
there are 2 tentacles
alive.
left. 2 tentacles left. One of them is gonna target the trickster, and it's gonna miss. And the 7th one is gonna target the sage. It's gonna hit
Ooh.
for 12 damage.
Ooh,
Sage
I will
is
not
dead.
survive this one.
Alright, sage dead.
Yes, good luck. I at least disposed of one tentacle.
Oh yeah, actually, you were very instrumental in downing one of them. I'm actually surprised that you were this efficient. Usually with a bow, you were not that effective.
Yeah.
All right, so well, it is warrior and trickster.
Warrior time.
Good luck, guys. You might win.
Barely alive warrior time.
Oh, you hit. That is a good
It's
hit for
for-
6 damage, but 4 since it's a 2 armor.
Of course.
All right, trickster.
Hey, I hit.
Oh, you do. For a 5 damage, so 3 damage to the tentacle, which is great.
Nice. They need to miss all their attacks, all
Alright,
their
now
remaining turns.
Now I will roll a d4 once again to decide who I will attack. Okay, on each attack. 1, 2 warrior, 3, 4 trickster. First attack on the warrior, it misses. Second attack on the trickster, it hits for 8 damage.
So I
So
think
that's
6.
2 attacks so far.
Yeah, 6 or 5. You got
Third
2 or
attack.
3 armor tricksters.
Third
2?
attack for the trickster, misses.
I have 2 armor.
Fourth attack for the trickster, misses. Fifth attack for the warrior, hits, 9 damage.
You're all alone, trickster. Be our savior. Good luck.
There are 2 attacks left for the trickster. One of them hits for a total of 8 damage.
Are you sure you will not reconsider a prayer, trickster?
I will not reconsider a prayer.
Alright, last attack, it hits for 6 damage. You die. Alright, I
Wow.
will reset the hit points of the tentacles because we might still fight them.
We'll go with the orb then. And the trickster will have his orb back.
Alright, and I will just add the extra tentacle right here. Add it
So
back.
you have your heart back, trickster. Isn't that great?
I know, it's fantastic. I get to play music again.
Alright.
Yes.
Let's put our life back to what it was. I will actually, since we're not sure if we're gonna have a fight because of the crystalline eyes, just put us back to the world map. Let's put our health back to a reasonable level.
Yeah.
There we go. By the way, the sage. Oh, you did not expend your arrows, but you must have had.
No, but I did with the green bar.
Okay, good. You can put your health back to a reasonable level, please. Put your health back.
Blanket, and I think I had. How many rations does that make? 3, 6, 7.
There we go. I'm back
Okay,
to full.
here's the thing. Just a moment. I will just find back the paragraph where we had to choose to fight the Kraken. The Eslaken, I mean. Alright, so there we go. I got it. So we meet the eye and things like that. Do we try the other item before we fight?
Well,
Yes, we should.
we should use the jewel.
Alright, 549. Let's see if the jewel
Does anything at all?
does anything. It seems unlikely, except if they have some kind of magical power, but looking through the 2 blue-eyed jewels, I'm not exactly sure how that will help. Alright, let's try it anyway, so 401. You raise the blue jewels into your eyes in the desperate hope that they will provide you with miraculous vision. By the way, Trickster, you can put back the harp on your equipment.
I already did.
Okay. Miraculous vision. Perhaps show you some escape route. That hope is soon dashed. The jewels provide merely a distorted and tinted view of the massive tentacles as they whip in to strike you. Each player loses 2d6 endurance as the tentacle hit with a force that shakes your teeth in your head. The blue jewels drop on the ice and disappear through a crack into the cold sea beneath.
That's so dicky. Okay.
Useless items.
And then we go back to fight. But first of all,
Wow.
let's inflict some damage on us. Oh, yay. I will roll damage for each of us as the tentacles. So,
But I just rolled my damage.
oh, you
against
just rolled your
myself.
damage? Okay, let's roll a damage for each of us. Alright, so I get 10 damage. Oh, am I feeling lucky? Let's remove our hit points here.
Minus armor or not?
Minus armor.
Yes.
Minus armor. Still, I'm not feeling so good. Oh, Warrior, you're actually kind of lucky.
Yep.
Alright, what about you, Sage?
Let us see. So I'm gonna roll the 2 dices.
It's
We
not 2 dice,
shall.
it's 2 dice.
We shall see. The 2 die.
2 dice.
Oh, dice.
And
Woo.
that's 6 damage, minus your armor, of course.
Hold on.
Right, once you've updated that, just tell me and I will move us to the battle map.
It is now done.
Alright. Okay, so let's put ourselves back and see if I still die first try. No, actually it was like this, and then like this. There we go. I'll put back the turn order and push us back through that. So the trickster will act first because he's a very aware fellow.
Yeah.
After that, I will. Can I add something? I'll just put the rest kind of turn order because we are all at 6 for the adventuring group. That will save me some time in changing the turn order. Alright, Trickster, you can start. Oh, by the way, do you want me to... I will try the Orb of Carnage first before the fight starts.
It depends. Do you want to keep the orb and try the parchment?
No, the scroll, I can only use it on my turn anyway, so at this point I can use both. It's not a problem. So, guys, do you want me to try the Orb of Carnage, or do we just forget about it since it's going to be divided amongst 8 tentacles?
I think we should wait at this time, because having that much damage divided is not going to do much.
Okay, good. Anyway, the
Great.
maximum amount of damage would be 36, which is approximately 4 damage per tentacle, even if I manage to do maximum on my die. And they're still going to deduct their armor, so it's not that useful. Alright, so Trickster, you can start your turn.
Alright, change of route. I'm going to go up this time.
Oh.
Ooh.
Alright, so the tentacles are gonna try and smoosh us. Let's see if I get as unlucky as the last part. Alright, so the first tentacle is gonna target me, because why not? It's gonna miss, though. Second tentacle is gonna hit me, because why not? It's gonna miss. Third tentacle is gonna target the sage. It's gonna hit that time for 8 damage. Minus armor.
I feel fine.
Alright. Fourth tentacle is gonna target the warrior. It's gonna hit for 10 damage. We're halfway done.
That fight's gonna be hard. It's unavoidable. Oh god.
It is avoidable if we do not attempt to use an item.
And flee. Flee!
That's
Flee,
right.
you fools!
And by the way, if we don't try to use an item and fight, we are actually full health. And we try to start the fight instead of already being damaged.
Yeah.
Alright, fifth tentacle is gonna target me again. It's gonna hit this time, and it's not going to kill me. That's nice. I survive another attack. Alright. Sixth attack is gonna target the sage. It's gonna hit. It's gonna inflict 7 damage. You're dead.
Well, was good to know. Yeah.
You just remove your endurance. I will not remove your spot here, but we will all know. Actually, let's just change that and boop. There we go.
Yeah. So in case we need to redo the fight, which is
Yep.
not impossible.
Now the 7th tentacle is going to target the warrior. Because we're now 3, so I had to split it up in 3.
Yeah, it's fine.
It hits for 6 damage. Alright, so that's that. So warrior, you can do your thing. I will attempt to use the scroll on one of the tentacles. Let's say one of them that is not close to the trickster, just in case I can destroy a tentacle one shot. So I target this one. No, it's actually close enough. I'll target this one. Alright. So, what was the paragraph of that scroll again? Scroll 278. 278. 278. Ensure that you have a note on the last entry you were reading. You unfurl the ancient parchment and read the 2 words written there. Ruat Fulmen. A moment passes, during which you can feel the rapid build-up of unearthly power. The air becomes oppressive, a high whistling and faintly audible. Then the sorcery you have summoned is unleashed in the form of a massive white thunderbolt. It descends from out of nowhere, and if you are in combat or just about to enter combat, you can direct it at one of your foes. The bolt inflicts 5d6 damage, less the target's armor rating, and then the scroll disintegrates into a fine white powder. You must now return to the entry you were in. It's nice. It is very nice.
So how much damage?
5d6 minus armor.
That's still pretty neat.
That is pretty neat. So I kill one of the tentacles, dead. And this one is gonna have an X as well on it because we might use it again. Why is that different? I want to have the X. Oh, there we go. It's here. There we go. It's dead. Alright, well, I've done my part, I guess. Trickster, your turn.
Alright, let's try to talk to the one to the left.
At least you know what the scroll does.
And I can now use it before combat, which might help us later.
I do nothing.
Nothing at all. Alright, tentacle time.
Man, that sounds horrible.
Yep, it is. Alright, so first attack. It's gonna target the trickster. Trickster is gonna miss. First attack. So second attack, it's gonna target a warrior. It's gonna hit. It's gonna inflict 4 damage. We're lucky this time. Third attack is gonna target me. It's gonna miss. Fourth attack is gonna target the warrior. It's gonna hit. It's gonna inflict 9 damage. You die.
Hey, goodbye, cruel world.
Alright, for the remaining attacks, 1 and 2 will be Trickster, 3 and 4 is going to be Enchanter. Alright, Enchanter hits, and that's 7 damage, which is enough to kill me. So I will deduct this, and we'll put the little X on it. Warrior, could you... Oh, I'll do that. I'll do it. It's alright, I'll update you.
Could I do what?
I was talking about removing your endurance points. Just to update the thing. So there's 2 attacks left.
I'm dead, so...
So the first one misses, the second one misses. So Trickster, it's back to you.
Alright, let's try to kill these.
Again, good luck.
Alright, you hit for a total of 3 damage.
Oh god.
So now 7 attacks on you. Now actually 7 attacks on you, yeah.
Dodge them!
Alright.
You can
All
do
of
it!
them.
Alright,
All
so
of them.
first one, it's gonna hit. You're gonna be inflicted 10 damage, which is not enough to kill you.
Only 6 more to dodge.
Alright, second one misses. Third one misses. Fourth one misses. Fifth one hits. 4 damage. You're still alive.
Good.
Sixth attack hits for 7 damage, and now you're dead.
Oh, he was doing so well.
Alright, so Well, that's not going good. It's not good. But we're dead. Okay, 2 times. Let's re-update our endurance and see how we can survive next round. So do you want to go back right at the moment where we encountered the Eslaken?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I guess before would be best. Yeah, sure.
Alright, the 8 points in
Yeah.
circles. Alright, now we have the option. Well, we no longer have the option to use an item because we have used them all. Oh, by the way, Sage, you can put back on your inventory the blue eye crystals.
I didn't remove it in case we would die.
Well, in the unfortunate event that we died. Yeah.
Yeah.
The same
Ditch
way
those crystals because they're useless.
Well, they are not useful there. They might be useful elsewhere.
Yeah, I know.
Sure enough. Sure
I
enough.
was just kidding.
Alright, by the way, Sage, could you update your endurance total? Thank you. Warrior, the same?
Yes.
There we go. Alright, so we're no longer using an item. So do we try to fight our way? Or do we wish to try to flee and run for the shore?
Run.
I'd say we run because that thing is freaking hilariously dangerous.
Yeah, I think we should run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's try and run for the shore. 316. Let's see if
Maybe
we
he
can
doesn't like the
escape it.
shore. I don't know.
The tentacle flail as you move forward, striking you with bone-cracking force. Each player loses 2 dice endurance. You see
Well,
that
if we
the
can
tentacles
flee,
are
that's
easily
better
fast
than
enough
having
to
to
block your
fight, though.
escape. You must either fight or use an item. So basically, fleeing is not an option.
So it's clearly unavoidable. Oh wow.
Alright, how about we assume we will be dead and just re-encounter the creature and decide to fight without suffering 2 dice 6 damage, whatever we do.
Yeah, I'd go with that option then. Let's fight full life and try to
Sounds
get
good for
all
everyone?
back alive. Yeah. Do you all agree?
I'm down for trying to fight with full life.
Okay.
Yeah. Try.
Let's try.
Let's try.
457. But this time
Man.
we have the added benefit of taking a hit or
So-
2 before dying. Alright, so let's move to the battle map.
So guys, how does it feel to be part of a hentai nightmare? Does it feel good?
Wasn't
no,
expecting you to mention that.
I was refraining myself to use any kind of tentacle hentai jokes. The
Sorry.
bottle has been opened this time. But just to answer that question, it makes me feel as comfortable as the people usually in those kind of comic books.
Situation.
Yeah.
But
Since
there's so
it's
many
like-
nice suction cups.
Alright, before the fight starts, do you want me to use the scroll to blast one of these tentacles into oblivion? Just to give us a
Yeah.
little bit of an edge.
Yeah, it would make sure we don't have that much pressure.
Yeah.
What about you, Andre? You down with it?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Alright, I'll blast the one closer to me, because we won't have to move to it. Alright, so, and this one I'm gonna inflict a total of 13 points of damage, which is just enough. Just enough to kill it. I was very unlucky with my damage roll.
Yeah.
Alright, and now the actual fight starts.
Sorry about the joke. I don't want to get you in trouble with
Oh,
the
it's okay.
YouTube and
It's
everything.
okay.
It's
It was a
a
harmless
bit of a
joke.
stupid policy, honestly.
It was more harmless than actual tentacle rape hentai.
Yeah.
Alright.
And then you took it one step further.
That is correct. I did.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's put ourselves back into the right fighting order. Trickster, you can choose wherever you're going to go.
Are you on the other map?
I am, but you probably are not because I forgot to put you there. So, there we go. Now are you able to see the fight as I do?
Yep, and I can now move between the tentacles.
That is great. Just a little team meeting, guys. In case we want to survive this, Do you think we should separate and try to attack tentacles separately? I have a group spell, but I'm talking about you. Or do you think we should group up and try to kill them one at a time? Like,
How about you? How about you buff us?
yeah, I already prepared a group spell to try and blast them all at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. No. Go for the AOE. I think it's better.
But next time, if we don't manage to survive this one, I will attempt the debuff spell and see how it goes.
There's no debuff for the enemies so that they miss their attack or something like that.
There is one debuff spell that works. That is existing. It's called the Night Howl. It's a first level spell that add 1 die to the attack roll for 1 round. But the unfortunate incident here is that it is a psychic spell, and that creature has on its description the fact that it's immune to psychic spell.
Is immune to anything funny for us to do against it.
Just wait a minute. Sorry.
Let's use Hyper Beam on it. No.
If we had it, I would have used it. Actually, if this group would have survived the first book the same way as one of my solo runs, I probably would have used a lot of charges of the Iron Scepter to just get rid of some of the tentacles.
Yeah.
It's a neat little magic item which I found in another route.
And I would have a Ring of Strength, which would help me to hurt stuff. And
a Belt of Strength, actually.
A Belt of Strength. Oh,
plus
sorry.
a magical plus 1 weapon.
And a fucking... I didn't say the F word. I did not say anything at all. You didn't hear anything.
And
I mean, the trickster could have a nice bow.
Yes, a nice bow. And Sage would have had a ring or circlet. I'm not exactly sure that would have provided him with 1 extra armor point. And I would have had a ring of sorcery, which would grant me +1 to my psychic ability, which would have been nice to have to cast spell.
Yes.
Well, how about we do... Anyway, I will play the tentacles here, because anyway they will play before Pierre, so let's see how the target. So first target will be me, because of course it hits 10 damage. It is wonderful. So that's the first attack. Second attack is still going to be for me. It's gonna miss this time though. Third attack still for me. It's gonna hit. This time 7 damage. I'm still alive, but barely. Seriously, 3 attacks in a row on the same target.
Yeah.
Fourth attack. That's the Sage. That's gonna hit. That's gonna do 4 damage. So 2 total damage. I will update Pierre's.
You know, if you want to be... try something else, you could always have the tentacle hit one of us once.
No, it has to be the
once after one another. I mean, it hit me first, and then
according to
we
the
go
rules
by
of the book, I have to roll randomly for each of them.
Oh, okay. Rules of the book. Okay.
Yeah. So the fifth tentacle is going to target
just trying
the
to make
trickster, and it's
the
gonna
fight fair for us.
Sixth tentacle is going to target the warrior. It's going to miss. And seventh tentacle is going to target me. It's going to hit, and I'm going to die.
Done. Darn.
Oh, actually, I should probably not remove my thing.
Damn it.
Dang it. Alright, so, and there we go. I am death, the destroyer of worlds. I will be now playing the tentacle from now on. So, warrior, you can do your turn before the sage moves anyway.
Well, I'm going to lose my turn moving up. And why is there flying in my house? It's annoying.
Alright, now we need to wait for Pierre to figure out what he's doing. Well, regardless of what he's doing, it's probably not going to affect the fight all that much. So, Trickster, you can do your turn. It's not a problem. We're gonna wait for him after that.
I hit the one to the left.
That is great. Oh, that is more than great. That's his 7 of damage, so it means 5 of damage, which is great. It's wonderful even. Hey, eventually I will be able to cast some spells in this fight. Seriously. Just to see with you guys, if we manage to get trounced this time around, do we still persist until we kill it, or do we try another path?
How do we get his magic carpet?
Don't know. I don't know
Sorry,
how to
Mac.
efficiently get his magic parser.
My bad.
So what I was
You're
discussing-
dead? You're dead?
Yes, I'm dead. I got 5
Oh.
attacks against me out of 8.
That's great. So we're gonna die again. Good.
Alright, just a question for the rest of the group. If you get killed in that fight, do we reattempt the tentacle fight, or do we try to change our past a little bit?
I think at this point we're gonna have to start changing our path because we're not getting lucky.
Okay, here's the thing. There are a few items that could have been used for that fight as well. One of these items would have been the Orb of Fire, which is possible. Do you think that it would be enough for us to just try to use the Orb of Fire against it and see if that one works instead of the Orb of Carnage, and then see if we can just continue that way?
But I like the Orb of Carnage.
It is a nice orb, but if we don't manage to go forward, it is or not. And here's the thing: if we want to get the magical stuff in the Tower of Auguste de Venturi, we have no choice but to fight that creature. Eventually.
Hmm.
I'm almost willing to roll back to the point of not going to the tower.
I would perhaps advise something. I'd say that we could give it 1 or 2 more shots as a party. I mean, if the mage can blast his own spell, it could give us the edge.
Could, but it's not guaranteed. My spell only inflicts 2d6 plus 2 damage, which means
It
if
could-
I'm insanely lucky, I could get 14 damage, which would kill them all in one fell swoop. But
Yeah, but if
just
they are
very
still
lucky.
wounded and we shoot arrows, we might be able to down a few of them to relieve a bit of pressure on us.
We might, but that's the thing. I'm not exactly
I
sure.
think
if
we
they're
should.
about
I
to be
think we
lucky.
should try and go through them.
Okay, so,
with
but anyway,
perseverance.
at this point in this fight, it is your turn, Sage. You should. Do
If only I could charge the beast and hit it in one turn.
would be
But
nice.
no.
So you hit the 4a5 damage. Do you hit the wounded one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So that's it. Alright, Trickster, it's already done. Tentacle time. Alright, first tentacle. It's gonna be for the Trickster. It's gonna hit. It's gonna do 3 damage. So far, so good. Second attack. It's gonna go for the Sage. It's gonna hit for 11 damage. Minus armor, of course, so you get 9 damage.
I was full health. Why am I 13?
No, you got it an attack last round. I actually inflicted the damage for you.
Okay.
Third attack. It's gonna go for the Sage. It's gonna hit. It's gonna do 6
Oh.
damage, and you're gonna die.
Oh well. So long.
Yep, so long.
You next time, cowboy.
Alright, fourth attack. It's gonna go for the Trickster. It's gonna miss. Fifth attack. Trickster. Hit. 7 damage. Sixth attack. For the Warrior. It's gonna hit. 7 damage.
Hey.
And final, no, 7th attack, actually. It's not the final one. It's gonna go for the Warrior. It's gonna hit. It's gonna do 7 damage more. So 4 more damage for you. And now the final attack is
One
gonna go
for
for the
you,
trickster.
and one for
It's
you.
gonna miss.
Because I'll be honest, Adam, if we get a lot of magical swag after that, that could be nice.
It could be nice, but I cannot guarantee that.
Yeah, but it could help us further for the adventures if we get our hands on it. So I say we persevere. You think it's worth it?
I do not think the creature is under the ice, which means that whatever treasure it has will probably be under the ice, and we have no way of getting it.
No, but what you said that we needed to go to the Tower of the Wizard.
The only loot that we have at the Tower of the Wizard were the stale bread, which you haven't tested yet, by the way. The scroll of that did 5d6 damage. There was like blankets, and there was what was it again? There's the Greek fluid, which I haven't tested as well. So that was all the magical loot. It's not that riveting.
Wait a minute. It has a red eye. I will use my blanket to go Ole Toro against it.
The red eye is under the ice, and thus you cannot affect it.
Darn.
That's unfortunate, but that's the truth. Alright, so it is now the warrior's turn.
I shall attempt to hit it.
Oh, will you destroy a second tentacle? Would be
Maybe,
nice.
maybe not.
And you miss.
It's a maybe not.
Trickster, your turn.
I'll see if I can destroy the tentacle.
Go,
Well,
avenge me.
Alright, so tentacle time.
No avenging.
First one. Oh, actually, there were 7 tentacles. Actually. Huh. I missed. Okay, so Trickster, it's gonna hit 6 damage. Second, Trickster, it's gonna hit 10 damage. I think you're dead.
I am dead.
Alright. The rest of the attacks are going to be targeted at warrior, so all 5 of them.
I raise my shield.
Alright, so
I have no
one
shield.
miss, 1 hit for 7 damage.
7 damage minus 3, that's 4. I'm at 6.
Another hit for 9 damage, and you're dead.
And rip.
And rip. Rest in peace, warrior. Once again, we are reborn again.
Yeah, you're not
And
gonna
we are
lie,
tired of fighting this thing.
So either we're just skipping the mage tower altogether and just continuing on our way, or we change.
I mean, the scroll is nice, but it's not worth it.
Well, if I'm going to expand it on the tentacles anyway, so it loses some of its value.
I mean, we still do have 2 items to try at some point.
Well, the only other item which I think we have an ability to get is because there was the scroll of invisibility, which is from the first book, which we don't have, and there was a orb of fire, which we don't have.
Oh, I'm talking about the gray liquid and the stale bread. We can see what that does prior to starting combat.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see if that's worth it. Just a moment. I will just get you those definitions. So let's go to the middle gallery.
I have the number if you need it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Please tell me what is that number.
Bread. 327.
327. Okay. I'll check that for you. 327. 327. 327. Make sure you have note of the last entry you were reading. You eat the bread. It is stale and far from tasty, but surprisingly nourishing. You devour it greedily until there are only a few crumbs left in your hands. Something startling occurs. The crumbs begin to swell, clumping together as they touch one another until you're holding a new crust. As long as you have this magic bread, you never go hungry. At any point that the text gives you the option to eat, you can proceed as if you had done so without having to pay money or cross off rations. That's neat.
That mage was a lazy
it's a
guy.
1 hit point. It's a 1 hit point.
There's not going to be hit points. but you could have one piece of bread, and it would feed every one of us every time, all the time. It's like an infinite food supply.
Okay.
Alright, my bottle of grey liquid says the following. Make sure you take a note of the lesson you were reading. You swig deeply from the flask in your hand. It fills you with renewed vigor. If you are wounded, you recover up to 2 dice endurance. There's still enough left in the bottle for 1 more draught. So it's basically a 2-charge healing potion for 2 dice 6 damage.
Man, those items are good. But
What are they? 8 tentacles worth fighting good?
Well, here's the thing. Again, there is the option of, instead of taking the Orb of Carnage, trying to use the Orb of Fire, seeing if that works. And that way we would, if that managed to help us during the fight, we would be able to get these items. So the question is, first of all, would the Orb of Fire work? And second of all, would these items in their entirety compensate for the loss of the Orb of Carnage, which deals a potential of 36 damage, between 2 and 36 damage to one or several creatures.
I will leave you all to discuss it. I will be right back.
Well, Andre, before you leave, do you want me to tell you? Are we curious to see what the Red Orb of Fire would do, if that would help, actually?
You can leave it as a surprise to me, because I have to run to the washroom.
Okay. So what about you two? We could just not go to the Wizard Tower, still threaten August Devantary into getting us to Weird and skipping the fight, getting to the village and doing everything. Or we could move, just change the orb we've taken to get the Orb of Fire and see what that one does to the Eslaken. So, or we could have other options like reattempting to fight against the Undyne and refusing August Deventary's help.
normally, if we die, we have to start all over again, right?
Normally, yes. Normally, if we die, we do that, yes.
We've gotten, well... Kinda want to get all these items because they're useful, but...
Are they as useful as the Orb of Carnage? I'd say maybe. Actually, I'm a little torn about that because these items can be very useful. There's like 2 healing potions, and there's like a scroll which can help us kill another boss next. Like 5d6 damage is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, that's the thing. We could use it against a certain person who will eventually come back to hunt us down, because I know he will come back. It's not a matter of spoilers, it's a matter of logic and the deduction.
Are you talking about Icon the Ungodly? Or August Devantary?
Yeah. I figure he would come back to us and hunt us down because he was dead set on killing us.
Maybe. But you're talking about Flying Carpet Guy or the one in the battle pits?
Well, the Flying Carpet Guy, we could, I don't know, we could,
Yeah.
I wonder what happens if we kill it before the elemental.
Oh, I can tell you, I actually already did that part. If we manage to kill him before the elemental swallows the ship, his flying carpet is out of reach. We cannot give it, but we can continue the travel by boat until we reach Doorhaven.
wonder if there's anything funny in Darwin, or we just continue and.
Well, as we don't have a lot of cash, I'm not exactly sure how useful it would be, but maybe there's something that would be interesting. I think there are some new ordeals that we need to take care of.
There's some interesting stuff there.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. It's I think there's one path in which some of our party members have the chance of being changed into vampires that will try to kill the rest of the party. There are a
Oh.
few funny stuff like that.
You call that funny?
Well, compared to everything else,
Yeah.
oh gosh.
Sometimes I feel like this game was, I don't know,
It was designed for replayability, so basically,
masochist.
well, like I said, they were not screwing around in the 80s when they made those kind of adventure games. It was made
Yeah.
to persevere until you get it right.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm back.
Alright, I mean, we still haven't voted. Actually, I did not hear Pierre-Yves voice his opinion at all during this whole conversation.
Well, I go for the white fire ball, but
Okay, so that's your take on it. What about you,
Yep.
Pierre-Yves? So do you want us to just go back at threatening the mage and skipping on the items on the tower to get further into the storyline? Or do you wish to still get those items, maybe switch the orb and trying to see if what the orb of fire will do? Or do you wish for us to go back at any other point in the story?
I feel just sad for the trickster because it was his choice of orbs. So I think perhaps the trickster would have the better say in this switch. Perhaps if we were
Well,
to switch,
is
should we
vote
try another orb?
mistaken? Andre, correct me if I'm wrong. Your vote was to just skip the mage tower altogether and go straight to weird.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was thinking that would be better so we can get a little further in the story.
yes, let's try that.
Alright, so let's change
I
our
mean-
equipment. On mind, I will remove the... I will actually put back my healing salve at 5 charges because I don't need that healing. I did not need that healing so far. I will remove the bottle of grey liquid. I will remove the gilt-edged scroll. I will give back to the trickster the red orb of carnage and take the gloves, mainly because we have not had to walk our way through the snow. Sounds good?
Removed my stale bread.
Alright. So, Trickster, could you write down the red orb of carnage and replace the gloves with it?
I can do that.
Alright, I'll also
Let's try
remove-
not buying food or anything like that because we don't need it.
Well, here's the thing. For anyone that currently have iron rations, if you want to just go back in the past and not having purchased it, you get back 2 gold.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you want to not buy?
No, I'll stick with my gun. I'll keep my equipment as is.
Yeah, I'll keep
Doesn't
the
make-
gloves, the fur cloak, and the brazier just in case. And what the
Yeah.
heck? Actually, I will keep the rations as well just in case. I'll just-
Okay.
Alright. Just checking everyone's inventory. Okay, the sages seem to be alright. Trickster, you are alright as well. And Warrior, you're fine as well. Okay, good. We can now, yeah, good. So let's go back to the world map and just go back into the past a little bit. I will need to find back the paragraph where we were in with this with August Ventre. I think it was something like 353 or something like that. Just see 353. Nope. No, that's not the one. Alright, so I found back the paragraph in which we were bluffing our way for Augustus to intimidate him into getting us to Weird. That's the path we were choosing, right? Group?
Which part?
The path in which we were not going to the tower and instead were threatening Augustus with the warriors' help
Yeah.
into
Or-
getting us to Weird. We could also be fighting him if you want.
Yeah.
That's,
Do we try to fight him?
that's your that's our check, guys. So, guys, do you want us to fight Augustus?
We might get the carpet.
I mean, it is a different path.
It is a different path. Although if we do that, I will just change my spell just a little bit.
Well, I'm gonna get all of you guys fight him because I don't have any bow. Seriously.
We are on the magic carpet, basically. We're not talking about on the boat. Fighting him, we
I
were
see.
close to the mage tower, and we just
Yeah.
refused to get to that.
Let's try.
Alright,
Let's give it a shot.
okay. Well, I'm all
Good
for
with
it.
you, Andre?
I'm down for fighting.
Okay. What I will do, with your agreement, I will prepare 2 Whitefire spells. Either that, or I can prepare 1 Whitefire spells and 1 Eye of the Tiger spell to try and boost you for fighting. Which one do you think would be the best?
Well, a buff could give us an advantage having an enemy right there.
It's like +1
And-
to fighting prowess and +1 to damage for 5 rounds.
And if our trickster wished to use this Orb of Carnage, it could result in something interesting being alone.
Good.
Quick question, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Can you cast spell before a fight, or you can only cast
Nope.
spell in a
We can
fight?
only cast spells during. Well, technically, if the paragraph gives us an option to cast a spell, we can. Unless that is only cast during combat.
Okay, I was just curious.
Although I can prepare a spell to mine before combat, which is what I'm doing right now.
I was just wondering if there was any other way
Yeah.
to get an advantage
Alright, so
before a fight.
Andre, what's your
Something like
opinion on that? Do you think I should prepare just damage spell, or do you think I should attempt to buff you for fighting?
I think the buff would be better, and saving the Orb of Carnage for a later fight might be a good idea.
Alright, let's see. Alright, let's see what happens when we try to fight Augustus here. I will first reduce my psychic ability to 6 because I've prepared 2 spells here. So that will be there. Alright, so we'll try to attack Augustus, meaning page 522. 522. Balanced on his flying carpet, 1,000 meters above the frozen sea, you prepare to do battle with the wizard Augustus. Well, let's see how we fare this time. Augustus' stats, by the way. His fighting prowess 8. He inflicts 2d6 plus 2 damage per blow. Psychic ability of 9, awareness of 7. He has 0 armor but has an endurance of 40. Note, Augustus will use 3 spells and may strike using a strange double-bladed dagger that he draws from his robe. So each turn I have to roll 1d6. If I have 1 or 2, he strikes with a dagger. If I put 3 to 6, he will either prepare or cast a spell on the list below, which can go like a psychic spell inflicting 2d6 plus 2 endurance, a psychic spell that affects one target, causing him or her to discard yours or weapon and fire barehanded if it takes effect. And a third level spell which can cause 3d6 damage. So Augustus used these spells in random order unless one of the players taking his part, in which case any strategy is of course up to him or her. And here's the thing, the fight gives us two options. We either kill him or put him under servile enthrallment. I will not attempt to put him under servile enthrallment because he has a psychic ability of 9 and thus will be very hard to dominate.
How much?
9.
Well, it is possible, but it's gonna be hard, yeah.
He has more psychic ability than I do. Alright.
Yeah.
As far as the battle map. So, alright, actually, here's the thing. So, here's what we have here. And I will put the stats for Augustus, just a moment. Alright, so fighting prowess 8. He does a lot of damage. 2d6 plus 2 is actually a lot of damage for one person.
2d6 plus 2?
Yep, he does.
Hmm.
He has an awareness of, I think, 6. No, an awareness of 7. Which means he does act after the trickster, but before us. Armor rating.
I have succeeded in killing the fly that was bothering me.
Yay! Alright. So, this is the character's attributes. With 40 endurance. Alright, so we have that. Okay, that's gonna be a weird fight though, because Augustus is right here for the moment.
Do we have
I'd
any
like to
chance
switch the map.
of... Do we have any...
We haven't switched yet? Okay, so just a moment.
Do we have any chance of falling off the carpet?
We don't have any chance of falling down the carpet.
Okay.
However, the fight is gonna be a little weird. Just let me explain. No, actually, I screwed up on the dimensions.
Is it a bit wider?
Not a bit wider, a bit longer, but not a bit wider.
Can we switch our battle position before the fight?
Technically, we're supposed to decide before the fight. We arrive on the fight paragraph.
I see.
However, we could try a second attempt later. Actually, just give me a moment. I think I screwed up on the battle order.
Because right now, if we keep it like that, the fighter won't be able to attack.
Yep, that is correct. However, it is like that. This is the battle order. It's 2, 3, 1, 4. So 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 4. There you go. So yeah, the fighter might have some problem to fight. However, if I take my first turn to fall back and the sage does the same, the warrior would be able to put himself next to Augustus. That is
Yeah,
a
we'll do
possibility.
that. Yeah. We'll leave our fighter as for fighting in front. Yeah.
Alright, so the trickster, as usual, you start the fight. By the way,
I'm not seeing the warrior.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
you
it
don't see
seems
him?
I'm not here.
You are here.
Yeah.
You're right.
Where? Under the enchanter?
Here. No, not under the enchanter. Just one square down the trickster. Aren't you able to see?
The enchanter is on top of the warrior.
Yes, and there's a giant A for Adam.
Okay,
No, it's the mage.
so the enchanter is right here. The warrior is right here.
I can see that now. It's fixed.
Okay, I was wondering because that's weird.
I will refresh my editor, I think.
It's not your turn yet, Sage.
I know. I'm just goofing around.
All right. The trickster, actually, you can start.
Alright, let's start attacking.
Ooh.
I hit and damage.
Yep.
It's still bugged.
That is really weird. Did you just see me adjusting the health for Augustus, or did that not change?
Augustus, yeah, it's
Alright, let's determine randomly what
It works.
Augustus does. So I need to roll 1d6 to figure out what he does. And what he does is prepare a spell. So I will have to roll randomly to figure out which spell he will prepare. He will now cast to mind the spell of Vaporous Serpent, which is a level 2 complexity spell. Psychic spell affecting one target who loses 2d6 plus 2 endurance if or she fails to resist. So he has prepared that spell, which makes his turn. So it is now our turn. So do we just leave some spice for the warrior?
So he failed.
He called it to mind. He needs to take one round to do that before he can cast it. On my end, I will move out of the way for the warrior to be able to go up front. What about you, Sage?
But that. Go on, warrior.
charge.
Alright, that was our turn. So, Trickster.
Let's keep attacking. I miss.
It's unfortunate. It's now Augustus' turn. I will now determine randomly what it does. And what it does is either preparing another spell or casting said spell. So I will need to determine randomly what spells will be affected. So, spell... Okay, that means he will prepare a second spell, which is Bewilder. Does that make any sense at this point? He already has one spell prepared, so I think it should not be war random that time. I just want to check one thing here. Yeah, no, at this point he will attempt to cast the spell he has prepared, which is the Vaporous Serpent. Because of his current modified psychic ability, he will need a 6 or less on 2d6 to cast the spell. And he does not succeed in casting the spell.
Good.
So,
So it's the same rules as you cast, right?
Basically, yes. It will get easier each turn, each rise consecutively. But here's the thing, since he moves randomly each turn, he could decide instead to attack with his dagger. Alright, so it's now Warrior, Sage, and Enchanter's time. I will attempt to cast Eye of the Tiger. Considering my current psychic ability, I will need 4 or less in 2 dice. Oh,
Where
that's
do I
so close. Sorry, Francis, what did you say?
I was trying to see the stat for Augustus, but I can't see anything at all.
Alright, let's
Weird.
see. Here are the stats for Augustus. I did not show his write down his spells, but because I have them on the book. But these are the stats. Do you see them?
No, I don't.
Now
It's
do you?
weird.
I don't see his health total either.
I mean, do you see a window which I just opened because I clicked on show to player?
Nope.
No, nothing. Okay.
It's
Well,
weird.
Just
Well, anyway, I'm going
his-
to try
his
to hit
stats
him.
Are physical prowess 8, 2d6 plus 2 damage, psychic ability of 9, awareness 7, and an endurance of 40. Right now he's injured a little bit. He has 34 endurance points. Oh, and
Well, he's
there we
about
go.
to
Now
get
his,
hit.
now his health bar is showing up.
Damn.
Okay, so you make 3 damage, which is still fine.
Because already there's a list of enemies and all, and I just have in-out characters and glossary, but there's no enemy in the list.
Alright.
Kind
Yeah,
of
the
weird.
enemies are gone again. I don't see them anymore either.
That's weird.
What don't you see? Sorry, Andre, could you repeat?
I don't see the enemy list either, so I can't click on it to see the stats.
Oh, just a moment. I will make a little bit of change. Alright, you should now be able to see August, the inventory. I just updated the enemy list.
Yeah, I can see Augustus now.
Alright, and his health bar should be now visible on the battle map. Is it?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it
Thank
is.
you, Adam.
Alright, Sage, it is now your turn to decide whatever you want to do.
Sure.
And that's a hit for 3 damage. Great. Alright, Augustus seems to be going down quickly. It is now the Trickster's turn.
I will try to damage him again. For 7 damage.
Oh, that is great. You are going swimmingly well this fight. Actually, for the whole evening you've been rolling great. Missing a few times, but then again, who doesn't? Alright, so Augustus' turn now. And this turn he will attempt to strike one of you two with his dagger. So the one he will target will be the warrior. He will hit and then inflict 13 points of damage.
Oof. Armor counts?
Armor counts. So
At least.
10. He broke
That's-
concentration on a spell, however, which means it will be as hard next time he tries to cast it.
Well, that's still something. So still 11 damage is
Well, 13 damage minus 3.
13. Yeah, so minus 3, so it gets 10 damage. That's still
So
impressive.
warrior, just update your endurance and.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not there.
Alright, on my end, I will attempt to cast the Eye of the Tiger again. This time I need 5 or less to cast it. Oh, I managed it. So you all now have +1 to fighting prowess and +1 to damage.
And if I recall, it works on archery rolls as well.
Yeah, there's nothing that says it doesn't.
Good.
So I can attempt to hit that guy now.
Yeah. Go on.
So 8 or less, I think. No, 9 or less.
9 or less, yes.
And I get +3 damage. And what?
Oh, and you hit. You totally hit.
Do you see the 3D dice or not?
I do not see the 3D dice because I don't have them
Okay,
on the advanced dice roller.
because I tried to do
Yeah, that I just set the profile of this game to not show any fancy things.
Mhm.
Alright, how many
So-
damage? How much damage? That's a 5 damage.
Yep, better than attacking.
Oh, well, actually, it's far better than nothing. Alright. Sage, whatever you do. And you hit. For 5
Five.
damage. It's going well, I think. Except the dagger hit earlier. So, Trickster, it is your turn.
I hit
And you do hit. Yeah.
for 8 damage.
Oh, that's great. Although it doesn't kill him, it's really great.
Come on,
Augustus-
Sage, use your arrow on him.
So the
kidding.
Augustus will now try to cast a spell once more. He needs 6 or less to target one of us with a spell.
It succeeds.
No, he need The 6 I just rolled was for deciding what he would do.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
yes, he does succeed. He will target one of us, which will be the Sage. Sage, do a psychic ability check, please. So roll 2d6 and try to get equal or less than your psychic ability.
I think I got it.
You got it, and you even roll 2d8, which we will not make you re-roll
Oh.
because you actually decreased your chance by doing that. So
I'm gonna
no,
Should
do
I
not it's okay. 2d8 actually makes it harder for you, so you have succeeded.
Correct.
So you do not get any damage, which is
Good.
great. All right, that's the rest of us. So Warrior, would you do the honors
Of course.
and destroy that smug son of a bitch?
2d6.
And you hit. That will be enough damage to kill that bastard. Whatever you rolled would have been enough.
It's overkill.
Yeah. All right. So we managed to kill him.
Now, do we plummet to our death because there's nobody to control the magic, or do we get the magic target?
That is a
That
great
would be
question.
such a punk death. You
That's a
succeed.
Great question. 241.
It can happen. It's the kind of book that does it.
All right. So, according to the book, Augustus's body topples over the side of the carpet. Do you want to try to catch it? I will leave the decision to the trickster and warrior, since they are the one that are close to Augustus. So, do you want to try and catch it? Or
Yes,
do you
we
just
need to loot him.
Yes, we need to try to catch the body.
Yeah.
All right. So we will try to catch the body. 257. You catch the body and pull it back onto the carpet. Searching it, you find a white stone amulet, a gold ring, and 15 gold pieces in a leather bag. Take what you want.
Take it all.
A gold bracelet,
A gold ring.
a gold ring.
So, the white stone amulet, I think, is the thing that he touched in order to try and control his carpet. Not exactly sure.
I'm going to take the gold ring.
If anybody doesn't mind, I will take the white stone amulet just in case.
Are we splitting the gold, or are we just gonna give it to one person?
We're all like destitute, correct?
Yeah.
So about this, let's split it. Like, let's each get 3 gold at least. And then there will be 3 more gold to distribute between each of us. Is there anybody here that has some gold remaining? Because, like, right now we need to split the rest. How about, well, okay, at this point, how about we just don't bother and
I have
give-
two gold pieces.
How about we
Give it all.
the 3
Give it
extra
all to the
pieces
warrior.
the,
Then.
Well, how about we give the extra gold to... Oh, okay, just do not give to the warrior and each take 1 extra gold.
That works for me.
Alright, so each of us will have 4 gold except the warrior, which will have 5 in total, I mean.
Okay.
All right.
So that's counting the 2 golds you already had, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And if nobody minds, I took the white stone amulet. I think the warrior took the gold ring. And that's pretty much it.
That's good with me.
Well, to be fair, I could give it to the trickster, but anyway, we'll probably sell it if we can.
I don't have any inventory space to take anything.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
You then roll the body off the carpet and watch it spin downwards towards the back eyes. Just for extra satisfaction. By the way, this is the end of a paragraph. I think our warrior is damaged. I will just
No, I'll
switch
try
us,
to heal you.
just switch us here.
You deserve the healing. You put up a pretty decent fight.
He took a dagger for us.
Yeah. So give me a moment.
I wish we could have stolen his dagger or something.
Yeah, that would have been nice, eh?
I mean, he's spoiler of wars. It's not like he dropped it. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe he dropped it when he was about to fall, and we were just
Whoa,
able to save
whoa,
his
whoa,
life.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Ease down.
Oh, that's great. So you take back that 3 endurance points, and 9 endurance points will go to the warrior.
It's three endurance points, so it would be 12.
Well, yeah, but you take 3 and then you give 9
Yes.
to the warrior, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's good. Thank you.
All right.
As usual.
So you watch
No
the
problem.
corpse drop until it is just a tiny speck lost against the white haze of frozen sea below. Your elation at victory over Augustus soon fades when you start to consider your next problem, however. How are you going to get down from here? So, here's the thing. There are 3 choices. Either the sage would like to try something, the trickster wishes to act, or the enchanter wants to try something.
Good question.
I
How
will.
about the trickster?
I will actually back out on this one. I feel like this is something that magic would be more efficient at.
Okay.
Enchanter.
Which leaves
Do
either
your
the
stuff.
sage's psychic abilities or my magical abilities. So the warrior
Yeah.
seems to think that I would be the one to help us. What about you, Sage? Do you want to take a shot at it?
I trust the trickster judgments. Go on.
Alright, let's see if I can attempt something. 452. By the way, I know there's only 1 endurance point left, but we are in the next paragraph. While you get it back. Alright, so here's my part. Augustus obviously belonged to a different school of magic from your own. The spells he employed were unlike any you have ever seen. But he could operate this carpet, you feel sure that you can do so too. You rack your brains. You'd expect to an exceptional magical item such as flying carpet to be attuned to a control talisman, such as an orb of fire, a white amulet, or a blue touchstone. Well, I only have one of these items, which is the white amulet. So, do you want me to try the white amulet, or do we just?
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, I'm down for you using the white amulet.
All right.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right. Let's see. 23. Let's hope it doesn't bite me in the ass, because, like you said, it's magic that I don't understand.
That would have been bad if the guy would have fallen.
Yeah.
No amulet. You're gonna die.
Alright, focusing your concentration on the amulet, you experiment with a variety of command words and occult gestures. The carpet shudders and descends in a stomach-wrenching spiral. Your touchdown on the pack ice is jarring enough, all players lose 1 endurance point, to convince you not to bother trying to operate the carpet again. Well, we only lost 1 endurance point. I don't think it's bad. That bad. But we don't get the carpet.
Oh.
Seriously.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, 1 endurance point is better than, death.
Yeah, it is.
But then we continue to walk into the frozen sea, and then we had to fight the tentacle monster again.
Oh, it might be. Let's just see if that's the case.
I sure hope not.
Do we fight the Kraken again?
344. Just a moment.
Please don't.
Yeah, no, it's the same path as if we were going through the tower. It's
So
the
it's-
exact same path
It's the fucking Kraken again?
with the friggin' Eslaken again.
Oh.
With the added disadvantage that we don't have the magical items now.
That's even worse.
Oh gosh. What do? Do we take another jab at the Eslaken?
I don't know why, but it almost feel like we always missing the last part of your sentences, Adam.
Well,
Right.
what I was saying is, what do you say, guys? Do you think we could take another jab at the Eslaken?
He can go off himself.
All right. So what do we do?
Uh,
So at this point, we obviously fail that one and die horribly at the hands of such a creature. So where do we go back?
fuck's sakes, do we try or not? God damn it. It's unfair.
There is an other thing that we could try. And I know it's gonna be weird, but hear me out.
Throwing away the scabbard.
Well,
That's a good
th-
idea. We can try that.
Alright, what's the paragraph? What's the paragraph?
419.
419.
I throw the scabbard. I throw away the scabbard.
Alright,
That's
419.
that's the most.
Alright,
Don't
here's the
let-
description. 419. You are floating in a timeless void. Eternal space surrounds you, a thing without depth, color, or form. There is no sound. How long have you been here? Time means nothing in the stark emptiness, but your last mortal memories were of relinquishing the jeweled blood-sword scabbard. The giant image of the scabbard float against the darkness before you. Taunting laughter echoes all around you, gradually filling the emptiness with a sense of time and staggering space. The image of the lost scabbard disappears. 5 majestic lords appear. Huge and mighty, their presence overwhelms your senses. They irradiate light. Each is robed in a single color, shining with so agonizing and absolute of that color that your vision stings and swims. On one side you behold a lord in scarlet, on another a lord in cerulean blue. A third is clad in emerald green, another in gold, and the last of the dread lords is wrapped in centillion white. The Red Lord speaks, and the place where mortal voices though those of strong lords, spoke to the shapers of man's fate. That place was called in mortal tongue Spite. The walls of Spite towered high, continues the Bulu Lord, for it was not yet at the time that feuds should crack the keystones, nor at that time had ravening flame tasted the ramparts. This long endured, says the Lord in Green. Those who could speak of the first days of creation spoke their lore to mortal hear. Mortal words, though those of lords most wise, were counted from shore to shore as inviolate commands. In the turn of the gold, the brutish thing that lives in the darkness of the belly then stirred, the cursed creature that drives oath brother to war with oath brother, that hellish hate that eats from within. From 60 only 5 await the day that is to come, pronounces the white. The images grow dim. From the pernicious place we shall go, escape the foul fastness of the void, and return into the mortal land. Nothing now opposes us. The 5 lords fade away, and you are left alone in the void. End of the paragraph.
So we would all die in the void. Yeah, I figured as much.
I mean,
GG.
everything is stacked against us.
Yes, it is. Alright, so either we find a way to fight the Eslaken. There's still the option of the Orb of Fire, but I believe we have stricken that one off. We could also retry to refuse August the Ventury's offer and just attack him before he drowns our boat, which is very hard as well. Or we could decide not to come aboard the Magdalene and try to walk our way to Doorhaven.
If those tentacles wouldn't be so hard. I mean, we need to be like super lucky. If you get to cast your AoE spell and we're lucky enough, the fight could turn out well. But it's a lot of if.
There's a lot of ifs, yes.
Do we give it another try, guys? And have the spellcaster like trying to cast something that may have multiple targets?
I'm kind of discouraged at the prospect of trying the Eslaken again. I'm not gonna lie. Seems like a ordeal which we are not prepared to face.
Do you all agree with Adam?
I'd say we go forward. Like last time, we tried to off this mage of the magic carpet, and
You're talking before he even brings us into his magic carpet, correct?
no, that I was thinking of me. I don't know, trying to cut the carpet, and then he he's a coward, and
Oh, okay, so
he bring
taking
us to the worm kingdom.
so
because-
basically intimidate him into getting us to the Worm Kingdom, bypassing the Eslaken.
Yeah,
but
that's
bypassing-
the word I was trying to
guess
think.
it would make more sense.
All right. Well, we,
I mean,
The trickster.
it's
What do
a
you
it's a shortcut that avoid us a lot of trouble.
True.
I think that's a good idea too.
All right, let's go with the other path that we did. But that freaking Kraken, man. Holy hell.
Or we could always try to kill Augustus before the elemental attacked our ship and see what
No.
happens after that. But
No,
maybe people are not down for that.
let's
it
go
is-
with the.
It is again like very hard. First of all, only 3 characters can attempt to injure him, and if we're not lucky enough, we won't be able in 3 turns to. I think it's like 3 turns to damage him enough. We need to do like 40 damage in 3 turns, which requires me to either succeed on a very lucky Nemesis spell, as well as people injuring him with bow and arrows.
Okay, bad idea. But you needed 2 items. You could have tried against the to control the magic carpet, I think. Or
Yeah, there was like a blue touchstone, which I don't know what it is. There was the white amulet, which I tried plummeting us to our doom, and there was a orb of fire, which seems a very bad idea. It seems like it could put the carpet on fire.
yeah. I mean, the blue touchstone.
Yeah, blue touchstone. I don't know where that one is or what it does.
Maybe I've missed something along the way. But yeah, let's try to off this wizard off his carpet by me threatening him.
All right.
Because that was satisfying, and it's the most satisfying thing I've done so far.
Does the rest of the group agree?
Yeah, let's go with the Warriors bluff.
All right.
I'm good with the Warriors bluff as well.
All right. I'm just putting back your enchantment.
I mean, defeating the Lady Grey was a good achievement, but offing this wizard off is
Alright.
satisfying.
Okay, so well, at this point, actually, we're not killing the wizard. We're just
Yeah.
threatening him.
Yeah, I know.
By the way, just reset your gold to 0. I'm not kidding. At this point, I will. Yeah, I will just not buy the rations. We might die from starvation, but at this point, I will just remove the rations from my inventory. And just have 2 gold pieces.
Yeah, me too.
Oh no, that's right. Actually, it's not. It won't help. Even if we remove the rations, technically we skipped on paying the inn, which was 2 gold pieces as well. So technically, even if we don't buy the rations, we would be down to 0 gold pieces because we would have to pay the inn. So I think it's
forgot
better to
about
get the
that.
rations. I think it's better to keep the rations and stay at 0 gold piece. For 7 days. Alright, there you go. Okay.
Damn.
All right. So I found the paragraph. So Augustus agrees to ride us to the kingdom of Weird. He sits down and quickly soars away. Soon the carpet has disappeared over the horizon. All right. All right. So at this point, we get some lore about the Warlock King. Then we go to 534. I'm basically skipping that thing because we already did part of this. We then reach the village. So I believe we still go down to the village, correct? We don't just ignore it.
Yep.
Okay, good. 517. So we knock at the door. There's the child which has been scalded. I still heal him with using one charge of the healing salve. Is that okay with you?
Yep.
Seems fair.
So now there are 4 charges left to heal him. So 564. They are perfectly happy with that. They feel like it's a miracle. 341. So we get some explanation about the seer Uraba, which we meet. Then we go on our way outside of the village after a night of dreamless sleep, and then we meet with Uraba once again. That will answer one of our questions. So we already got the answer about what's the best way to get into the palace, which is basically to skip the fight with the ghoul.
Okay. I'd say we
So
ask
there
for
are
the
2 questions left. How can the
Yeah.
Elf Lord be beaten at checkers, or how can the Frost Hounds be avoided? I don't think we need to ask about the Frost Hounds, mainly because
checkers.
we already know we need to flee and basically just go to the cave with light.
I will laugh if she say, "Oh, it's easy. You just have to cheat."
At this point, let's see. I think she will not answer that. So let's see how we can beat the Elf Lord at a game of checkers. She says, a wise question. You deal with your problems in the order they arise. She squints into the distance, seeming to look at a ridge of snow-covered pines, but focusing in fact on the events that lie in your future. It is not easy, she announces at last. The elves will use any means to win, even casting illusions over the playing pieces to make you think you have lost. The best solution is this. Advance your pieces across the board in a regular formation. The elves cannot easily use their magic to trick you then, as you would notice at once if they made any of your pieces seem to be where it was not. You thank Uraba for the help and bid her farewell. Make sure you have made a note of the iron bell she gave you, then turn to 520. By the way, there's an iron bell we need to get.
I put it in my inventory.
Alright.
And actually, the trickster cheating against them is fine. They are cheating against us.
Yeah, but I think we should follow a recommendation.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing. Now that we have the strategy to win, why risk an awareness roll to win?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. But it was a fair move.
Alright. So, eventually we leave, and then we meet the elves that don't want to let us pass. Do we still offer a game of checkers to win, to play against them?
Yes.
Because fighting them, I believe, will be hard. Anyway, there's like 7 elves against us.
Do they have armor?
Yes, they do.
Ah, darn. We could have used the Orb of Carnage and burn them to crisp.
Yeah.
On the wire.
So, did anybody keep the board and pieces of checkers?
I did, and I'll allow still the trickster to play.
Alright.
But
Don't allow
yeah.
the trickster to play. He will decide to try and cheat.
If you let me play,
yeah,
I'm
alright.
cheating. I hope you know that.
No, I'll play then. I'll do.
He cannot help himself but cheating.
He have a compulsion to.
All right.
Yep.
So the elf lord is tempted. He chooses the white pieces. All right. And then we turn to 546. 546. All right. So now you must decide what strategy to use against the elf, bearing in mind that as a soulless creature, he is likely to be a methodical but uninspired games player. Yeah, apparently in that universe, elves don't have souls. If you use your central playing piece as a wedge to penetrate his defense, you can turn to 56. If you advance your piece across the board in a regular formation, turn to 331. 321, sorry. If you employ the bluff of pulling back your central pieces and then closing the outer ones behind him as he attacks, you can go to 138. Or if you try making an occasional random move in order to confuse him, go to 346.
Well, regular formation. That's what she said.
Alright, 321. Let's see if that works.
That's what she said. Oh god.
No, but that's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
The elf
I know.
lord gradually becomes anxious and indecisive. He seems completely at a loss to know how to deal with your tactics. At last, when the outer edge of your carefully constructed formation reaches his pieces, he concedes defeat. Gathering up the pieces, he lowers his proud gaze and speaks quietly, saying, "You set the test this game, and I am truly overthrown. No grudge shall hold me from fulfilling my truth, though I am less certain you would have held to your pledge." You cry. That is an unmannerly remark to make. You have lost fair and square. Is that any reason to cast his aspersions on the honor of others? He turns his chill gaze on you again. My words were spoken in ill-considered haste, and now I must make reparations. I shall give you a gift as recompense for the slight my tongue offered you. He pronounces a few syllables in a language you do not recognize, and the checker pieces glitter with green light. These playing pieces now have my rune laid upon them. When you contend against the final foe, this sorcery of mine shall aid you. At that time, the harm you were dealt by my harsh words shall be undone. You take the enchanted pieces from him, noting as you do that his touch is deathly cold. With an uneasy glance at the waiting elven warriors, you pass beyond them down the forest road. Alright, you now have some enchanted checker pieces, which you can replace your checkerboard game too.
Yeah. All right.
That's
And we don't know what they do.
No, the elven lord just said that it will help us on the fight against the final foe, which is basically a short way of the authors tell us it will be useful in the boss fight.
All right.
The
Noted.
fight.
Alright, so now we are in the forest. We now trying to make camp for the night, but we hear some pad 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 and stealthy footfalls trailing in the snow. Last time we did not stop yet and tried to flee. We have the choice to make camp if we want to decide otherwise, but I don't think that's what we want to do.
I think fleeing would still be the best option. That's what we did last time.
Yep.
Yeah. We could get a reward for killing all those wolves, but it seems like it's avoidable.
Yeah, it is avoidable, and we do get some recompense by just hiding in the warm cave.
Yeah.
Alright,
Let's
so
go.
we run away, I guess. So
Strategic retreat.
So we run to 437. And then we reach the cave. Do we go into the cave or do we keep on running along the path in the forest?
The cave.
Go into the cave.
Alright,
Go
great.
into the
You do
cave.
remember how to survive. Alright, we go into the cave and we meet with the old lady that warms us to the fire and to a meal. That says us that the wolves will not attack us. And we fall asleep. 163. Sorry, I'm just skipping the thing. I know I'm not being very lyrical. I just want to advance as much as we can. Alright, now we wake up. The old lady is no more. We are fully restored. Is there anybody that is injured? Because we're no longer injured. All right, good. All right, so we gather our stuff, and we now have an ember tinderbox. Who keeps it?
Maybe I should.
Maybe you should. Do you have any space left?
I think I have one more space.
Sorry.
No problem, no problem. Anyway, it's beginning to be a little late, so what I suggest is that we go all the way back to when we enter the Palace of Eternal Dusk and then call it a night. How's that sound?
That sounds good to me.
Alright. So we go through the forest and we finally leave the Forest of Thorns and we reach the other side. So we are past the Forest of Thorns, 168. The Palace of Eternal Dusk now stands ahead of you. Great. A few rocks. And the giant beast comes up. Alright. Now we have the guardian beast. We can basically flee in 2 turns. But I could attempt to prepare the spell Immediate Deliverance and try to make us flee in 1 turn.
Against which?
Well, basically, I could make the battle map again, but here's the thing. Right now, the only one which is blocked by the Guardian Beast is the warrior, which could defend against the beast. As
I'm
the
going to
sage
defend.
could be running for the flee zone, while I try to cast my Immediate Deliverance spell. If I manage to cast the spell, we will have fled the first turn. If I don't manage to cast the spell, we will have fled on turn 2 because the sage will be on the flee zone. Sounds good?
Sounds good
sure.
to me.
Alright. So, are you on the map? Yeah, you're on the map. There you go. So, I will not draw the map itself. I will not because it's kind of useless at this moment. I will tell you the stats of the Guardian Beast. It has a fighting prowess of 8. Damage per blow is 3 dice 6 plus 1. Psychic ability of 8 and an awareness of 3 of armor and 60 endurance. So fighting it would be more difficult than the tentacles at some regard. Alright, so the first turn will happen thusly. So the trickster, at this point you're in a hard spot. You don't have a lot of choice of whatever you're doing. You could just move, but at this point it won't help us getting to the result any faster. So I don't think you have anything to do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be defending and waiting.
Alright. On my end, I will have 1 spell prepared, which is the Immediate Deliverance, which is a spell of 2nd level, which means that I get it on a 5 or less. So let's see if I get it. I managed to get it. However, the Guardian Beast still has 1 hit he can try against the warrior. I believe the warrior is defending, correct?
Yes,
Alright.
I am.
I will just be rolling to see if the Guardian manages to hit you in 3 dice. He does not, which means we flee. Great. So 432. Alright, we're close to the door. Alright, so we now need to decide which gate we will take. Do we still go to the Gate of Carnage? Or do we...
Do you want to leave this decision for like the next time?
Yeah, absolutely, we can. We could call it a night and make the decision. However, I just want to point out, the Gate of Carnage, we know, has some fights, like with the Pixies, there's a lot of danger, but there's also some goodies, like a drinking horn from a Berserker clan, the Axe of Heracross, and other things like that.
I think the axe is a sure bet, honestly, because it will give the warrior the throw option, which we will need.
Alright. So, next game we will go to the Palace of Eternal Dusk. I will still leave the choice for next game. Just think about it for the next for the week, and we will see each other again next time.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Goodbye to everyone.
Yep.